What's up, everybody? This is Tru. I am here with the lovely Domo Monster. We are Green Room Radio. We got a couple very special guests in the building. Who do we got?
What's up? Yeah, I'm very excited about this guest. This is Ryan Rapaport. Where did we meet?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
So this is the first Clubhouse guest that I have on the podcast.
You know what they say about meeting people on the internet.
I know.
Which leads me to our other. We have a couple special guest hosts today.
Hold on, how does that lead you? How does that lead you to me?
It doesn't. but it doesn't fucking matter.
This is a good segue.
So we got DJ Super James here
Yes,
today,
yes.
and we also got DJ G Minor.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
hanging
back.
out somewhere. He's probably in the fridge looking for a bottle.
He's crawling around the carpet looking for something, on pebbles or something.
I don't know.
So what's up, Ryan? You're a white guy from Hawaii. What's cracking?
I'm not. It's funny. I'm not
You're not
from
from
anywhere. Like really, I'm from Massachusetts originally, but I've been all over the place for the last couple years. So I was in Colorado, and then been living out of a van for the last year and a half, and then ended up in Hawaii. I've been working with a company out there, a vertically integrated cannabis company. Everything we were doing is remote, so like, why be stuck anywhere in quarantine except on Hawaii?
No, 100%,
Oh, wow.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So how long have you been in Hawaii for total?
5 months now. But
so you were the smart one that said I'm gonna go quarantine over here in this beautiful.
I was
shit.
planning on living out there in April. I went out there in February. I was there, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm supposed to be here. Like, and all this weird shit started happening when I was there. I was like, all these weird coincidences. And I had a good friend who had invited me out there, who's a disabled Army vet. And next thing you know, I'm loving life out there. And I'm like,
I'm never
am I
leaving.
supposed to be here?
I belong here.
Hey,
Yeah.
so how do you feel about? So I'm really good friends with a lot of Hawaiians. But I know that when I go out there, the Hawaiians they got issues with white people. So have they accepted you into the community? Or
I think I might have been Hawaiian in a past life. I'm not saying that I know enough about the culture yet, but I feel some weird bond to that island. And I'm an integrator. I travel around the world. Like, this is what I do. I go and I meet people.
It just means they're still plotting on you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, you gotta respect the culture too. And like, one of the things I'm doing there right now, this project with Noah Botanicals, we're working on doing a whole video content series that talks about the history and culture of cannabis within Hawaii. We teamed up with I can't actually say the company teamed up with yet, but some big ones, some memorabilia around the walls here
Black
that you
Label
recognize.
secrets on the show.
Yeah, and so we're all basically featuring the history of this of cannabis within Hawaii, because they're getting very close to rec. It's probably happening this year and maybe going live next year.
Woo,
So we're trying to
woo.
get everyone ready for it and like open it up. Yeah.
Okay, we going back.
Well, yeah, we normally, like they always say, it's kind of odd when you meet someone on the internet. Like I met Super James here on Craigslist back a little while.
It was Craigslist.
But,
That's right. Now I remember.
So
I know.
So Domo's been in my ear now for about the past 2 weeks discussing this new site, I guess, called Clubhouse. And she said that's where she had met you, and I'm like, okay, so you met a guy from Hawaii. He's gonna get on a plane, fucking come out here. And
Wait, but what part of Hawaii?
Oahu.
Oahu,
Yeah,
right?
Does that change any of what True's saying?
No, it's still risky.
Yeah, this is still awkward.
I'm always doing the bad shit when they say don't do it.
Yeah.
It makes me want to do
So
it.
what? So to start, what is Clubhouse? Because I don't understand this
So
shit.
Clubhouse is this new app. It's all audio, and it's like it's social media, but it's cool. So it's like private right now because it's in beta. So you have to get invited in. You have to get invited to the Clubhouse.
Yeah,
And then once you're
so fancy.
in, it like your hallway is what they call it, where you see all the rooms, is based on the different people that you follow. So if you're not following a lot of people, you're not seeing a lot of rooms. So you gotta like start going
real
into
quick,
these
do
rooms.
they have a dirty room? Because that's where James.
There's a
would
lot
be.
of dirty
They're
rooms.
popping up pretty quick.
They got the demon time rooms.
Is there any
Actually,
way? Could you give me like
21
a pass to skip the hallway and just straight to that room?
I mean, if you're in the group, so people got like groups. I applied for one,
Oh,
but
there she
I
is.
haven't got it approved yet.
Hey, when you say Demon Time, is that the one that what is it?
So
Diddy's
Tory
son?
Lanez is on here. I've seen him a couple times. I don't know if he starts rooms. Maybe I haven't followed that, but I follow him. I haven't seen anything. But 21 Savage, the game,
Sunny, my partner, is big. He's got Sunny Digital's got a lot going on there.
they start these little like strip club rooms.
But
and
so it's all just audio.
just audio. So there's
see
one.
that-
So look at this. So it's one little picture, and you could change it. What does PTR mean?
Pull to refresh. So like,
Oh.
yeah. So it's like you get one image. It's your image, it's your face or whatever the hell you want it to be. But you can tell people to PTR, and you can keep changing it out, and like.
So they have to do that PTR to see your new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're talking about something, like you were with somebody, then people will like
You
put
change your
their
default.
picture. They'd be like,
Yeah,
pull
yeah.
PTR.
So is it kind of like being a kid, and when you go to sit down in
Yeah.
the lunchroom, you fucking pick your crew? And
Yeah, well, it's intimidating. Well, for like at first, because it's like you got all these people, but then you also have to like. There's a lot of people that are like trying to be like bullshit experts, and
Oh,
you
man.
have to sniff through them. There's a new form of trolling on there too. I also went into this one room, like I went into the room, and I think it was like a crew, because even the guy and the girl's picture, it was like their body, and then the head was this fucking scary ass like demon like face.
Yeah, see when you
and everybody was in there. So if you're in there and you don't have the picture, you stand out. And I was like, whoa, I gotta get out of this.
that's what I'm like when you take video away from something like that, like the troll level goes like 1,000 times
Right.
up,
Well,
right?
and,
like
and you can be whoever the fuck you
You can
want to
be
be.
whoever-
yeah, because you're a ghost, you're a
Yeah.
picture.
You're just a person talking.
What is that called when like when the guys like pose as if they're girls?
Catfish?
Catfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, see that's
yeah,
got to be
yeah.
going on in there.
That's
Like
gotta
Hell
be-
yeah.
stupid.
So it's fucking crazy. And
Isn't-
then your Instagram and your Twitter's linked. So I've actually been building followers from it, but they can slide in your DMs, and I'll get into that, how
Uh-oh.
women can use
Uh-oh.
it to their
Oh,
advantage.
there she is.
James would be sliding into
My DMs would be cracking.
Yeah.
Or go,
But,
I'd probably ghost.
I'd like to know. So I would be in the hoe rooms, like the OnlyFans and the sugar daddy
That's
rooms.
where I would be.
And then
Same.
I started creeping over to the cannabis rooms, because I was like, what are these motherfuckers talking about?
Mhm.
And Ryan held a couple of rooms, and I was like a little bitch. Like I would go in these rooms, I'm like, oh, I can't talk. But I made my picture
So
very
real quick,
eye catching.
Ryan, do you guys? So do you allow people like, oh, she's pretty, we're gonna let her in, or like, hey,
No,
this
it's
girl?
not like that. I mean, I pull up anyone. She can tell you. I'm like,
Yeah.
we have like old women, like disabled army vets. Like,
So
we have,
when
like-
you say he held a room, so he has his own room.
Oh, okay. So these.
I'm still in the
so,
hallway.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still in the hallway, bro.
So the hallway, you're gonna see multiple different like chat boxes of people. Those are called rooms.
Are there any holes in the doors?
Could you peek in and just see? Do I really want to be in this
So
room?
actually,
Not-
yes,
I'm
like
not- okay.
in a sense.
Oh, lower. You're talking about a
So-
lower hole.
I'm talking about the.
Oh,
I'm talking about the
oh,
glory
oh,
hole.
he's. I was
Let's get
way. I
holes.
was way off.
Let's get holes out of the fucking conversation.
You
Okay.
got to get into the room
So-
first.
You go into the room. So before you go in, you could just go in to listen.
Mhm.
But if you actually want to join the stage, which is what they call it, you got to push this little hand. So you raise your hand so that a moderator who
Oh my
has the
God.
green bean, the little green symbol.
Jesus, sounds like the Matrix
it
times
is-
10.
it is the
This is the
Matrix.
Matrix times 10.
So
my
whoever
God.
has the green bean, they can allow you to be a speaker. They can also kick you out. They can mute you. They can move you out of the stage back into the audience. It's crazy. It's like there's people who got some little like control power. Like
Oh, they're just
getting
they're
off
just
on
in
that
there
shit.
stunting. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kick everybody out of this bitch.
So
Yeah.
I was telling you about the hustle, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's
so-
a hustle now, and like I just got clued in on it. So
Ooh.
the people have Snapchat and their Venmos and their pages, and I didn't get it. Like, what is this? And when I found out, someone from a local dispensary told me that the artists or like people who are of influence, right?
Yeah.
They'll be on stage, and someone will be like, "Oh, this is French Montana's boy." And they're not going to let anyone up on the stage if they have a certain group of people So they'll curate that, and then people be like hit you up on their DMs, be like, hey, pull me up on stage. And then they're like, here's my my Venmo.
Send me,
here's my Cash
5
App.
racks, and you can get on the stage real
Yeah.
quick.
Like $250 a pop, $250 a pop. Say there's
Jesus.
1,000 people in a room, and that one, because the moderator is the what you're saying, the
Yeah.
bean, right? The moderators were the ones who can like pull people up, and I'm a moderator. I'm instantly.
He's always a
You
moderator.
got the power. You
Well,
got
no,
the-
I'm not doing that. I'm not monetizing like that. But this
No,
is someone, you know,
No,
like,
but hey, you
I'm
know
like,
that
I'm out free value. That's all my shit.
you know them rappers will do anything for money. So
No one's touring right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the game.
Someone's
is-
got. Hey, someone's
Well,
got to get paid.
Yeah.
They got
What
that
was
money.
interesting is, so even though it's not much, but it's the voice, and it's like there's a lot of ways. It's like you can tell if that person's a piece of shit. You can
Yeah,
tell
like,
if
immediately.
they're.
It's kind of like that dating. What was that show that Nick Lachey did? The blind date where they had to meet their
Yeah,
companion
a little
without
bit.
ever seeing them. So it was just
Oh,
on their voice.
that one. Ah,
There's like
damn
20
it.
of those, I think.
They-
On
At
Netflix.
least.
Yeah,
At least.
They played it like right at the beginning of quarantine just to get
So,
everybody weird.
Blind Love or something
Yeah,
like that.
Love is Blind.
Love
Yeah,
is
Love is
blind.
Blind.
Love
I've
is
seen it,
blind.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, everybody did.
I felt Ryan was cool. Like, I felt like very like he made it very comfortable to like come and talk. Because before,
At least we know Domo was right because I believe Ryan's cool. So
I
you're,
appreciate
you're,
it.
you're,
Right,
you're,
right.
you're cool,
Thank you.
but
But-
He took a shot with me, so he's cool.
but then
man.
also I saw that he was kind of popular. Like all the big
he
dogs know him.
He was like the
so-
quarterback in high school.
Right.
Yeah. There
right.
He is.
He's
there he is.
he's
He's
Tom,
like-
he's Tom
guys are
Brady
making me
on that
blush.
shit.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's like, I mean.
Yeah.
But I actually just randomly hit him up. I said, hey, like, would you do a podcast? And he was actually like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's get, like, was ready to come
Hey,
out.
real quick, we keep saying podcast. I hate
I'm
that.
sorry,
It's
the radio show.
Fucking
Radio.
Sorry.
Podcast
But-
sounds so cliche
Yeah.
and tacky to me.
Stop.
Stop that shit.
But, yeah, so he's here and he has brought us some gifts.
Before we jump to his show, of course we gotta
Sure.
dive into his stuff. But like, what do you guys feel like about the Clubhouse app? Like, I just for me personally, like, as far as social media goes and all that, like, it's just so weird to me to cut out the video aspect of it, like, because it, like we said, like, it just makes it so easy for everyone.
How do you
like,
know it's not like the police, the government?
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, like it's like the
Ryan
the cat-
Rapaport.
the catfish stuff is like so real, even on the other apps. So,
Right.
do you guys think this is something that's gonna stay around? Is it something that's like safe? It like
Who's the owner?
We don't know.
Like, yeah, where did it come from? Like,
So they're a Silicon Valley startup, and I can't remember when they got it. I got
Gary
it December
Vee.
12th.
it might be
He-
Tom
no,
from
he's in it.
MySpace. It might be
Gary's in
Tom
it.
from MySpace.
I forget the guys' names. They're
Yeah,
like,
weird.
it's funny because
Nah,
they're like,
Tom
follow
would let
these
you
guys.
Do HTML.
Yeah.
Like they follow these guys every time. I haven't followed them yet. 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
like,
I haven't.
You're the first motherfuckers that pop up on there. Like you own.
Oh,
this
of
shit.
course,
Like,
yeah, no,
follow
yeah.
me. But no, they so question again. What was the question?
Just no, I just feel like
Is it
it's
safe?
to me it's
Oh, yeah.
weird. Like I know you guys are deep into the social media stuff, and I'm pretty heavy in it too. But not only is it safe, but is it something that's going to stay around? Is it something that is going to be productive for business people like yourself? I see a lot of music business people in
Is
that.
it going to replace Instagram or
Is,
like
is
a
it? Yeah. Is it
Absolutely.
going to live? Is it going to live beyond that?
Absolutely.
Instagram's gonna be supplemental. It's all
well-
gonna become supplemental to this. I have a feeling. It's like that's so you ask like how do people know? Because I can go to my Instagram, I see 10,000 people follow this person, and then I see all my homies are following them, and then I go to my homies page and I see all these people they're following. Like that person's following my homies. So
Right.
like so it's an interwoven thing, and like my networks are very highly curated.
Mhm.
Like I got like I have 16,000 followers on LinkedIn, but like that was like my main weed social network. LinkedIn is the shit for weed. Like no,
See, I never.
Really?
I always
Yeah,
get people.
Lin-
I
That's
see.
all
Yeah, I
my
never
shit.
fuck with that either.
I know no one does, but
I
like
always get people requesting me, and I'm like, fuck
Yeah, I'll get
off.
random
Yeah.
emails. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
even know I had one.
Well, that's like, I mean, like a lot of the corporate side, but you find like growers in Humboldt out there. I'm out here in Hawaii partly because of it too, or I'm out in Hawaii now because of that too. So there's a whole like you can find people. They do a really good job of making sure that you're that person, and they don't let you put fake names. They like make you put your name, and they ban people if you're not putting the right stuff up there. So
So how do they verify you somehow?
yeah, I mean through mobile. essentially. So it's like, this is my phone number. I'm saying my name.
Because
but-
what I heard, I don't know, I don't remember who we were talking to, but they were saying like, oh, this came out now, and this is the government's way of getting
Oh, the front.
the voice.
They said that.
But I mean, yeah, but that's ridiculous.
They
Because you
already
gotta
have
think
it.
like everyone,
Yeah,
yeah,
they already
everyone
have
has a
it, yeah.
They already
smartphone.
have
it.
Like you're screwed no
But
matter
then
what.
Are they going to listen to everybody's fucking
No,
conversation?
exactly. That's what I'm
No.
saying. That the government will never make another social media site just to catch you on some. You know what I mean? Like people were talking about that on random apps. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's just the government trying to get your face. Like, dude, if you have
Oh,
Face
the
ID on.
TikTok.
Hey,
Yeah,
here's
yeah,
something.
yeah.
TikTok.
If you have Face ID on your phone,
And
like
that's
they already
why
got your
I
shit.
haven't
Like they're
joined.
good.
Yeah, here's a good question. So I always have these people hit me up. Like I'll be talking to them, they'll be like, "Yo, man, you on Signal?" And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And they're like, "Oh, it's encrypted." And I'm like, "All right, so so basically, what you're telling me is if you were a terrorist, you could." I go on Signal, and I'm like, "Motherfucker, I've had the same phone for 25 years, same phone number." I'm like, "You mean to tell me that you're gonna go to this app that these messages disappear? So why wouldn't every terrorist in the world use it?" So again, it's like.
But it's just like Snapchat. Like just because the messages disappear from whoever you sent them to, that shit is on a server somewhere. Like
Right.
Yeah.
like
Right.
anytime you take a picture on your phone, that shit is somewhere in the cloud somewhere. Like that shit is not going away. Like once you have a smartphone, you're fucked. Like stop trying to blame it on the social media app.
Even the smart TV, you're fucked.
Yeah, dude, Bernie's over here watching us, and
Yeah.
we're
I
fucked.
just
Like
saw
we're
his eyes
fucked.
move.
Yeah.
I just saw his eyes move.
Can
Yeah.
we just take a moment
Yeah.
because the Bernie meme is like
Yeah,
on
shout
fire.
out to
It's giving me a
at
life.
It's Desmo for creating
That's
this
my friend.
masterpiece.
Yeah, Bernie poured us some shots earlier with his gloves on, so appreciate him.
This poor guy. He just came out to support.
Hey, no, but real talk though. I mean, I know everyone's kind of taking it as a joke, but you know when he said there was like a school teacher that made those mittens for him or whatever, like that. It ended up being like a dope thing for her. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, like
Now she's
What
popping.
was that?
once you're
what was
trending.
the one with the OJ? With the they
If
put
the glove
mittens-
don't
Oh
fit.
yeah,
they
the
put
mittens,
on
yeah, him in the
OJ.
courtroom. Like, yo, do you know how quick that shit like circulated the internet? Like that was
Yeah.
literally like
Oh.
in 2 hours. Like that.
Hey,
that
one
shit's
of
crazy.
my really good friends, he lives in Hawaii, and so when all this mask stuff started popping off, he's like, "Man, everybody from every Hawaiian's fucking stupid." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "These motherfuckers are out here selling knitted masks," and I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "They got fucking holes in them." and after I thought about it, I was like, "Man, you're right." I'm like,
Yeah, you win that round.
The fashion,
Yeah.
the fashion of the mask.
Yeah, they win. So yeah. So what have you? I mean, what's come of this app? What is it? Where does it brought you to?
As far as your
Yeah.
business goes, like
Yeah.
how has
It's
that
been-
helped you?
It's been insane. I like crazy rocket ship trajectory right now, and the app is facilitating a lot of stuff that we're doing, like in our partnerships with social equity flower growers and distribution, working on multi-state plans for some of the stuff we have on top of the content. So this is like me connecting with people that I didn't know. It's like you've been in the industry. I've been in the industry now for about 4.5 years, and as I go and like meet new people, which I'm usually doing at conferences, it's like the same homies that you've been at the conferences with. She was asking me earlier, like, how do you know all these people? I'm like, because I worked with them. I was smoking weed with them for like the last 4 years. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, now this is the place we can all concur, and then everyone's pumping everyone else up, you know. And
How
like,
much time do you think you spend on it in a day?
I mean, I could tell you on the app, but I've gotten better. I was going like 6-7 hours a day for like the first few weeks. Yeah, and I was getting so much value out of it, and I'm like, oh, this is new. And then you're like, you got like Mario from Trubinsky's, you got Burn in one, you got, you know, like all these people that like had access to all of a sudden, and now it's getting a little more saturated.
Were you
but-
were you on the app or dealing with it at all before COVID? Or is
No,
it,
it's new. It's pretty
so-
new. It's like
so
last
Yeah.
couple
was
months.
it so it wasn't did either of you know about it before COVID?
No, this is.
I mean,
just a
it-
few weeks ago.
It had to have been out before that, but
No, it just
so-
came out. It's still
really
in beta.
after
It's still in
COVID,
beta. It's not even
after-
out
Yeah,
at
it's in
technically.
release
Really?
in April.
Yeah.
So how I found out
Okay.
about it was my friend from Riverside originally.
Riverside,
He told
Riverside.
he knows.
Yeah.
So he hit me up and he was like, "Yo," he's like, "You can hustle on this app," and he was like, "It's all audio." I'm like, "What?"
well, yeah. So April
so I
April was when
started-
Yeah.
the app
Right.
launched.
I
the beginning,
started.
crazy.
Yeah, I would say it could be like 3 weeks that I've been on it, and I just started creeping around and.
But I feel like even if it came out in April, whoever whoever started, they obviously they had to be developing it
Like they
b-
tested
Right.
Well, you
before.
know who got it first? Music artists.
Well, yeah,
that's
that's what
why-
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like as far as me, like being in the music industry and dealing with the record labels and stuff, like they love it, and they like. I mean, I just never had time to like really get into it, but what I'm just saying is like someone had to be creating that before COVID. Like it wasn't like, all right, COVID hit, now let's create this app, because you know how long that would take. But I maybe
But
they just
then,
took someone
I
took
don't
the right
know,
advantage of
maybe-
everything going on.
This
Maybe
takes-
you are, because think about it. We're on lockdown, so what a perfect way for people to.
Yeah.
But if
to
it, but you
engage.
gotta think, COVID was like mid-March. If it came out in April, no way, because it had to be a good 8 months before that it was already getting
It
developed.
had to take to develop. An
Yeah,
app.
like
This
like
went-
a good 8 months to a
especially
year.
This app
year and a half.
sounds very complex.
Yeah,
from
it's
what I'm
it's
hearing.
deep. Like, dude, there's hallways, there's rooms, there's
It is
glory
and it
holes.
isn't.
Yeah, that's the very way of saying it. It is and it isn't.
It
The fact
is
that
and
you-
it isn't. It takes
Yeah.
no effort.
The
You don't
fact that
gotta
you can
get
raise
cute.
your hand.
You don't gotta
yeah,
like.
you could be a bean.
You could, I mean, you could be looking all busted and be like talking about like sexy shit, or you can.
See, that's why she likes it.
you
She's
could
like,
be
I don't
in
have to
the
do my
room.
makeup.
I don't gotta do my
I don't gotta do my makeup.
don't
I just
gotta
jump
do
on this
nothing.
app and I'm popping.
But then, like so I would go in these like entrepreneurial rooms, these business rooms, and the cannabis rooms. But I would just like, I wouldn't say anything. I'd just sit there. These
Lurking.
motherfuckers. No, those
Lurking.
If you
those
lurk, you care.
motherfuckers, they be sliding in the DMs, and then they be.
So
Some
that-
of them have became OnlyFans customers.
There it is. See,
There
but
it
that's
is.
what
And
that
and
means
I've
that they
already-
were like literally looking at who's in the room and just looking at
That's what
everyone's
you do.
profile.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's what you
yeah.
do.
Like you're only in
So-
that room to look at who
Hey,
else is in
this
So
the
a
is-
room.
little
hey,
hustle tip, you
that-
know,
Nah, fuck
you
you.
do
Fuck
it.
you.
I-
This guy.
I can
James
break
is
down
lurking.
how I actually do it, but yeah,
psh.
I have already extracted money from these people. So
As
I'm
soon
on
as
a
we
roll.
as soon as we finish this podcast, this radio show, I'm gonna be on Clubhouse lurking.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you will.
I'll,
Now you
hey,
know.
hey,
Now you
I'll
know.
invite you,
Oh, there she
and
is.
then I'll ping you.
Damn.
No,
And then you're gonna
because-
get the credit.
Hey, bro,
back.
she said she was
So
gonna ping
look,
me.
so look,
Ping?
why?
Hold on, how do I get
is-
pinged?
Why is inviting someone important?
Yeah, see, you guys got all these terms that we don't
Well, there's
know.
a couple of things. One, like your cred is based on them too. So if you
Right.
see who
It's
invited,
like
someone-
co-signing for someone.
Pretty much. No, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And I think it's
I will
And
not
your
co-sign
name,
for
your little
James.
picture stays on their thing, like you're the one that
Yeah.
brought them in.
Oh, that's cool. I'm cute. That's why it's
Ooh,
okay.
that's-
So anybody who gets
You're-
invited by me.
Oh, look
is-
at her! Look at her!
I got a little homie Levi. I got her on there, or
Look at-
him on there.
Ryan Rapaport is like, you ain't on my level, Domo Monster.
He's-
Yeah.
no,
I'm trying to
I
get his
wish.
cosign. I'm
Yeah.
trying to
I
get his
wish.
cosign.
That's who I
Who's
want
your
to co-sign.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, it's
I'm
so you can actually, this is like the little secret, you can
Uh-oh.
actually sign up and like they will let you can like knock at the door, and if someone who's in your contacts.
So now we got hallways, we
Right.
got rooms, we
Yeah.
got
That's-
beams, we
that's
got
what
knocking at the
happened.
door.
So it was mad random. It was a woman who was looking for trying to get into weed in Atlanta, and like I connect with people all the time, just like what can I do to help you, right? And she reached out to me, and then I saw like I signed up, and then like 10 seconds later I got let in, and I'm like, oh, that was fast. I'm like,
Right.
guess I'm VIP.
You're on that,
And,
yeah.
like, and
that's
she
crazy.
texted me. She's like, "Hey, I let you in," and I'm like, and I was like, I had to like double check. I'm like, "Oh, hey, Britt, what's going on?" Like, I saw that, and I was like reading back through the text, I think, because I hadn't talked with her in a few months.
Yeah.
And then she brings me in. I'm sitting there, I'm like, "What is this?" And I start exploring, and next thing you know, it's like off to the races, man.
That is like incredible.
Crazy.
Because you know how they're already saying like social media fucks with people emotionally and whatever. So like
Yo,
my,
this seems like 100 times deeper.
well, that's what I said. My
Like,
thing
you
is,
know-
if
Yeah.
you knock on that door and nobody wants to let you in, like
Yeah, are you mad? Like, are you in
Like,
your
well,
room
no one
like,
knows.
fuck everybody?
No,
Yeah.
because you didn't even know what it is,
Yeah, I just blew up
right?
the
So
spot.
if you did it, you were like, "Oh, this is stupid."
Like, fuck them
right?
anyways,
Like, whatever.
yeah.
But that, like, so that's what I did, and I was like, "Oh, okay, somebody's gonna let me in, whatever."
So if you started,
and then it was like, like, and then it's like, we're all bored and we're curious.
So if you start your own room, can you like say, hey, if you want to get in my room, there's a special knock or something?
well, look at this. They got private rooms.
Oh,
I need to
shit.
start- I need to
Now we're-
start-
now
Yeah,
we're
I
see?
need to
private.
start implementing those.
There it is.
Because I got some ideas on that. But yeah, so there's
Private rooms
a
now.
private room. So you
Oh
can make
my
a
God.
public room,
Uh-oh.
and then you can like end that room, and then you can make like a private room with only a certain.
So
amount of
hold
people.
on. You just went like, I was like at this business level, like, oh, this is some dope, private room. So am I getting a lap
It's
dance
like
in this private room? What am I doing in this private room?
It's like a private meeting, VIP
I almost
room.
So is there video in the private room?
No,
Is there video?
No.
but
So what like?
but
I'm gonna just go look
now
at your
check
profile
this
picture.
out. Now check this out because I'm on OnlyFans, working with the girls. We have a live feature, but I ain't gonna say it on the air because we got some good shit. Like there's just stuff that you could do. You can add multiple sites.
But still, so you're like, I already went down the hallway, took the bean, fucking went through this door, went through that door. So I'm in a private room.
You're fucking scuba diving you're in this shit.
Now I'm like probably fucking $3,000 deep on my credit card. I'm in a private room and still, no video. Still no video.
Can you buy stuff? Is there stuff for
Oh
sale?
yeah, people are really dealing for sure.
Well, that's what I mean, but that's like kind of on the side, right? You were saying like if someone's on the stage, like
it's not within the site.
Yeah,
they don't have the pay option.
I think I found my calling.
Yo, I just want to manage a couple stages on that app, and I'll be good. I'm a stage manager.
You know what this feels
I'm
like?
a stage manager.
There's rooms
It
that
feels
I
like
go in.
it feels like hanging out with you 10 years ago.
No, it feels like you're at the green door. Like you.
Hey, I'm gonna get them here.
Hey,
They're gonna be coming.
Shout out, we got
Green
hit up.
Door. They have a podcast.
Yeah, we actually they linked with us on our social media, and I'm like get hit up by the green door.
But who is the green door? Can you list who the green door is?
James knows what the fuck the green door
who
is.
is the green
never
door?
heard. I thought this was the green door. I never that. Hey, maybe that's where we met. Dude.
Ryan, do you know what the green door
I know what
is?
the green door
Okay,
is.
you gotta explain.
So
what
the
green
green
door
door is world famous. Like I was out here on tour with a very famous individual from Detroit, and we ended
Where
up
in Detroit? Like what street?
It doesn't matter.
8 Mile.
8 Mile. 8 Mile.
The trailer park. Oh yeah. Okay.
So we actually we ended up, our tour bus was parked in this parking lot, and we were talking with, I think it was MTV2 at the time, about doing a reality show, and this guy comes and startles the fuck out of us, knocking on the thing, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "You guys wanna take a tour? This is the world famous green door," and we're like, "Cool, man. We'll come in there." Well, coming from Detroit, I have never seen anything like this in my life. So the green door out here is the only place you can ask any woman. From the hot girls to the guys to whatever, everybody's been there. But I'm like, they were never there at the same time, because when I went in there, it is a straight up brothel, and they have these rooms, and it's like, again, it's like, okay, if this door's open, you can join in.
Yeah, it's like it's like before your guys' hallways, we had these hallways.
You want to know what? They're probably the creators of this app.
Hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yo, that hallway aspect.
Yeah, like
rooms.
And what was so crazy was, so we're like getting all led around, and then my late homie Proof, he had asked the owners, like, fucking reality show. They need to do a reality show on this motherfucking place. And then my homie Proof is like, he's like, what? So what's up with that door with the with the hole in it? And the owner's like, that's the dick hole. He's like, were you looking in there? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, and I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this, because the guy said, he goes, Proof was like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me somebody lets themselves in that room, other people stick their dick in there, and they just suck it? And so Proof was like, how do you know if it's a girl or a guy? And the owner goes, if you're going to stick your dick in a hole in the wall,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking
if
matter.
You're just going to put your dick in a random ass hole.
Yeah, like, who cares who's on the, who cares who's on the
So wait, is there any glory holes on Clubhouse?
I feel like
I feel like you should.
Yeah, see? Look at I thought you were going to say no right away.
Okay, so sometimes there's rooms. I let one of our friends in on Clubhouse for the first time, and he went into the freaky deaky rooms, and it was funny because the people's pictures was like girls' pussies. Like, there is no censorship right now, so it's a free for all.
Well, that's what I feel like
People
too.
are
Like,
damn near
yeah,
putting like their whole shit on there.
So if you're in a room or whatever, is there like a chat? There's got to be a chat, right?
No, it's
So,
that's what's crazy.
So it's just strictly audio, nothing else.
Strictly audio.
See, that's
so
a
when
trip.
somebody's talking, everybody's got to have their mic on mute. And then, like, sometimes there just happens to be that person. They don't know. There's a little, like, scattering shit going on in the background. So the moderators have the power to
mute anyone.
him.
So that's what we were talking about earlier. So that I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to touch on that, because you were saying, like, if you're, like, people get power trips, like, oh, you're on the stage I'm gonna kick you off the stage.
You shouldn't.
Bro.
You know about it. You know more about it.
Yeah, right?
Bro,
Because it's like
it's
some
just
trippy,
really,
like.
I'm not gonna go like so deep on it because it's
Yeah.
weird saga. I'm like, why is this shit affecting me? But like, it happened where this dude like was kicked. I was on the stage with Gary. I've met Gary before. I know some of his.
Shout out to Gary V.
Gary
yeah.
V.
That's
Yeah,
my dude.
I was on.
Wine Library.
I was on, and like, so I have like a 10-year. I don't think Gary knows it. I have like a 10-year, 11-year relationship with Gary, going back to when Wine Library, and like I was selling wine in the Newark airport. So like, I actually attribute a lot of my life where I'm at right now to listening to that dude. I don't consume his content as much anymore, but like, it
Right.
really got me to where I'm at now, and like gambling on myself and like going all in on shit. We have like 12 projects happening right now, so we're juggling shit, but it's all super dope shit, and I can really bring it back to Gary. So I'm sitting there on the stage with him. I've met him, you know, I know his head of music over there, Mike, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to be able to talk to him about weed. I've never really had a chance to talk to him. Well, I had a chance, but I fanned out on him. And I was like, can we get a photo?
Yeah,
But like one of the
that's
few
what
people
I
I
would've
fan out
done.
for, but I'm like, photo. Like I was like, I got your shoes. I'm wearing your shoes. Hey, remember you used to like walk to
It's
the
like one
airport?
of it's
And,
one
like,
of that moment
yeah,
when you're like,
yeah.
if I ever am like right there with them, like what do I do? Like how do I
Didn't
react?
we have a friend buy like a seat at? Remember that conference that we went to? The
Yeah.
Tony Robbins one.
I did. Yeah.
You bought the seat with
I
You
bought-
you had a
Gary.
friend. You guys didn't.
I
You
bought-
had a friend.
I bought the
I wasn't
seat.
invited to
I
that
bought
one.
the
Damn.
seat specific. I didn't care
Oh
about
no,
Tony
yeah,
Robbins.
it was both of
Yeah.
us. So we went to this conference because Gary
Gary
Vee
V.
was going to be.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins was like the headliner.
But you're like,
but-
yeah, you were there for him.
But
And
man,
then the bald guy from what's the guy? the Shark
the
Tank?
Shark Tank.
Oh yeah, Kevin.
Kevin.
No,
No.
Kevin James. No.
The-
Is that O'Leary or
Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary.
Kevin O'Leary?
Yeah.
So
But Gary V.
was
fell
there,
out the
and
last
then
minute.
they had this extra package where you can like have was it like lunch or something,
lunch
and
with
you
Gary
can
Vee.
ask him a question, right? So we were like, oh shit.
Uh-oh.
So
And
I'm gonna
then-
do. Oh, sorry. Let me cut
Oh,
that.
well, the whole thing was we fucking got there and Gary Vee canceled, so they like refunded our
Wow.
money, but
Oh,
we
that's
just
dope.
upgraded our seats. And then Tony Robbins, I think he does some voodoo shit on those people.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, they were like
feeling
they were
him.
just
He
like
just
in
did
the, like
this-
robots
The
in
way
the
that
zone.
he clapped his hands, it was like this, and it was really strange. And I was like, why
Signaling.
is he clapping his hands like that? Like that's not
Yeah,
normal.
and Gary, if there was one guy in the world that could ever fucking boost K-Swiss, Gary did it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
Do you,
those
do you
shoes.
remember when we were in LA and we were on Melrose and they had that shoe palace?
Yeah.
And dude, there was a line. Gary Vee was in there, and I mean, we've bumped into him a
We've
million
missed
times,
him
but
so many times.
we just have never been able to get to
Well,
him.
so I'm on the stage with him, and I'm like, I can finally talk to this dude about weed because I've been following him since he got into it. I know the.
Oh, he's in weed now.
Oh, yeah,
too?
yeah.
What is he
my
doing?
God.
Oh, bro, he's been in it for a couple years. It, it's gone okay. But like, he's doing a new thing with Juicy J. Like, he's got Astros popping with Cody Hudson, and so I just want to talk weed with him. And I'm up on the stage with him, and this dude throws me out, and I'm sitting there, and I'm
Wait,
like,
he did? He
Hater.
did?
No.
So-
no,
some other
a
dude.
So there's like
moderator.
moderate. Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
moderator.
So there's moderators in the room besides the host
yes.
that can just for
And
no
this
reason.
was earlier on. This is going back a month and a half ago. So like the moderators have a lot of power, and so this dude people were pumping him. He was pumping other people up. So people were like, "Oh, you're a good dude. Like you're a moderator." Come to find out, he's no one.
Wow.
But like he was in this it's this whole other thing. Like talking about rooms of 200 people venting about this one guy, and so this dude kept throwing me off. Friends kept pulling me back up, threw me off, pulled me back up. And
So
then,
there's like other moderators pulling you
yeah,
back
pull
up.
me back up. Yeah,
Yeah.
like my people were pulling me back up. Dude kept throwing me off. He was muting me like mid sentence, and then I was just like, I was just like, click. I'm like, I'm done with this app, and like I'm bipolar, so like I try to regulate my. Haven't lost in a long time. Came very close, and then so I was soured on the app for a little bit because he did a couple. Like the dude, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He was cool, but like that's the kind of thing that can happen. Like these people will power trip on it. And then get this.
Are you friends with him today?
No.
No.
I thought this dude everything.
Every-
And I didn't know the dude. But like, so it's funny. There was this room of like 200 people, and there was like an anti-bullying room, and there was like people were like crying and like sharing their stories. There was some like super emotional shit,
Yeah.
and like 99% of it was this one dude who was like, yeah. And so I think Clubhouse like there's like something on his profile now that's like
It
don't.
blocks him for like don't let
that's
him be a
like,
moderator.
People don't like this dude. Like
Yeah.
this many people blocked him.
Fuck
so
this
like
guy.
yeah. So anyways, like I don't like that type of stuff doesn't bother me. I'm gonna do business with Gary at some point anyway. So it's like I know that like
He'll when it's meant to happen, it is meant
But
Exactly.
to happen.
it's
Yeah.
like the new clout currency. Like now,
Like if you're a
it's like,
moderator of these rooms
you're
or whatever,
a
like
moderator.
you're a well, it's like you guys said, like
You're-
there's these people that for some random reason have control of certain rooms.
James, you will never be
Well,
a
it's-
moderator.
yeah, the
No, hell no,
moderators-
because
Now you start your own room, and you're
yeah,
the king. You're
yeah, I'll
king of the
start my
shit.
own
Yeah,
room,
like,
fool.
yeah,
You
that's
Yeah.
can't come to my
You
room.
can.
You're gonna have
You
Ken.
can't come to my
It's gonna
room.
be me, Ken.
And that's
You
it.
might-
It's just
you better
it's
make
just
us-
minor.
You better
Raul
make us
being here,
moderators.
like-
Raul,
No, yeah, you could be my moderator. You might. We'll see by the end of the
He's a
night.
good
We'll
I
see.
bring, I bring the
moderator.
crowd, bro. I
He's
bring
a
the
good
crowd.
hype
I got
man.
the
He
people.
like
Yeah.
so, and there's like this way of like when you start a room, they got people that would be like,
Like they just automatically
well,
get in that
it's
room.
like who is it? Baby Bash had a room,
That's
and then
just real quick. That's really random that she brought up Baby Bash.
Yep.
By the way, his tour DJ.
he's
I don't know
on,
why-
dude.
I didn't.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so
Hey,
wild.
I
ask
just told
him
you that
about
the other day.
Clubhouse. He's
See,
in
you don't
there.
listen to Tru, so he told you that.
No, I know.
Is he really? Because that dude can't even.
Hey,
He doesn't
he
even,
just-
I don't even think he has a smartphone.
James,
I think Bash has a flip
James,
phone.
he hired you to carry his shit.
He's-
That's
Oh.
what the fuck he did.
But his
Just
room
kidding.
was
I carry
dope.
his shoes.
So his room was dope because
so
he
random.
was talking, and then like it will stop, and this woman came in as like his hype man, and she was like, "Oh, just want to thank everybody for being here. This room is brought to you by Baby Bat." Like she goes,
Oh yeah,
and then, you know, they
it's
go-
Probably, well, it's
they
probably,
go,
yeah.
"Anybody want to talk? Raise your hand."
Yeah,
the
see,
little
it's all,
hand.
it's all, yeah. See, that's the weed
That's
company and
So
everything.
so
Brandon,
that
yeah.
was dope.
If
that
he if
was
he had an
cool.
iPhone, I would say we'll FaceTime him later. But he has a like a flip phone or something.
He
but-
still got the Motorola
But
radio.
oh
yeah, he
oh
got-
wait, so
he got-
look, this is the other thing. This Clubhouse that's still in beta mode, it doesn't work for any other phone other than Apple. So
Oh,
you
so they're-
have to have
So
an
you don't-
iPhone.
You don't got the janky
so all
Android
the
users.
Android
Yeah.
fuckers ain't in this shit yet.
Your boy must have a.
I don't know.
iPhone.
Yeah, I was
Not
just, no.
an iPhone.
There's no way. That was like you're lying because
No.
Bash is scared.
He's probably in a
I'll
room
send
right now.
I'll send Baby Bash some high res pictures and he'll just screenshot them and then
Just
repost it.
ask him. Just be like, yo, you.
We'll
What's
call it. We'll call
Clubhouse?
him later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Instead
yeah.
be like-
I'm gonna
be
give him
like-
some shit.
Like,
Yeah.
you got the
Like what?
green bean?
Yeah, no, yeah. See, we're gonna bring him on the show in a couple weeks because
See if he's got
just
an
for that.
invite for you.
Where does
Yeah.
Baby Bash from? Is that
He's in
Texas?
Texas.
He's well, he lives in Houston, but he's from the
Okay.
Bay. He's
Yeah,
original-
yeah.
He was born and raised in the Bay. He's from Dope House. You know, SPM signed him. Like he's originally from the Bay.
So wait, I have a question. Where the hell did he go? Like he was popping,
He's still-
T-Pain.
Hey, no
and
wonder,
then-
no wonder James got in. He quit popping.
Ah!
No, you know what I'll say. You know what I'll say on that topic is, Bash is just one of those guys that like he just got those records that are just like Sugar.
Right.
That record will never go away. It'll
Hey,
never
isn't-
go away.
Doesn't he post a lot of funny memes and shit?
Oh,
Does
dude,
that
Bash.
have-
Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah,
because
yeah.
no.
I'm a
Yeah,
meme
but
dude.
that like literally, if you scroll through his feed, like there's like screenshots of other like he's just being a clown, like, and he's high 99% of the time, like yo, he's just living his life, like
Sidebar.
he
I did my first like
Uh-oh.
modeling gig or music videos. It was one of his music videos.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, and I'll tell people, I'm like, yo, they're like, yo, what's up with Bash? This and I'm like, dude, he's good. Like before COVID,
Right.
we're doing 6, 7, 8, 9 shows a week. We're like,
That's
it's
dope.
good.
Sick.
It's good, and he's just he wants to put out the music he wants to put out, and that's it. He don't want to like bow down to the radio and like, oh, I have to make this radio record. Like,
That's
dude,
cool.
I'm getting paid. Fucking Sugar was the biggest song in the country.
Yeah.
You go to LA, you'll still hear that shit twice a day. Like, you know what I mean? That's
This shit's
12 years
bomb.
old. Yeah, so that's what it is. But he's got the CBD. We'll talk about that
Is
later.
that
But
shit
he's got
dope?
he's got
Yeah,
he's got the
he's-
weed
dope.
companies. He's got
He's on
so
there,
much shit going
right.
on. Yeah, and that's all he cares about. So it's like,
Hey, real
that's what-
quick, I think I don't know why I think this, but I have like this weird thing with CBD, and I think it's kind of because like how when vape came in, it blew up. So like I'm under the impression, especially when celebrities get behind something, that CBD. I mean, again, who knows what's good? Even my homies Nate and Nick, they got one. It's called Game Up Nutrition, but like, how do you know what's good CBD and what's bad CBD? I mean, it's
Well, I don't know if you know what I do, but one of the things that we've been really focusing on is
no, sir, we're not on Clubhouse.
I'm still trying to get in the
Yeah,
fucking
please.
hallway.
The
I'm
intro.
not in your
The
room
intro.
yet with
Here,
the
let me-
green
let me-
bean.
You gotta get the invite.
let me bring you up to the stage here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Digital Venture Partners, I'm a co-founder of that. We're one of the only majority minority-owned portfolio companies that operate in cannabis, and we're kind of like a bridge between mainstream media and content back to cannabis. So we're not plant touching, even though we operate some brands. Sunny Digital, we launched Sunny Digital's brand. We work with basically through partnerships, whether it's through like social equity cannabis businesses, multi-state operators, and then like we're working on a series with cinematic music group and a large digital streaming provider or platform. And then a lot of the stuff we're doing is all around culture and cannabis. So one of the ways I got into the game, I saw people launching all these celebrity brands, and I was getting hyped for them. And then I go to Hall of Flowers, and I'm smoking some of this. I'm like, what is this shit? I'm like, you're telling me this dude slapped his name on it. It's selling in the stores for $80 an eighth. And you're trying to like, even like against like an Alien Labs or Cookies are Connected. And that's what you're trying to stack up against at the same price point. So that's kind of like what sent me and my partners on this journey. Sunny came to us and was like, hey, I want to do my own strain. And I'm like, yeah, you can do that, but it's not the best way to build a business, right? You build a business by going and actually building a brand. You got a brand, people know you. You've got a great following, you got engaged followers, so let's build a brand for you. And I teamed up with Lobo Canagar, a social equity dispo in Oakland, and then we launched a whole branded product line for Sunny. And that's where like, oh shit, we have something here. I can't go too deep into it. You guys will love it off air, but we're in talks with a really large record label right now. People trying to get into the space.
I was surprised, like, like I had I'm not a weed person at all. But when I was out in LA one time, I was at Cookies and I brought, Scott Storch had a brand.
Yeah.
And I brought it. She smokes all the time. And like, dude, she took like a couple puffs and she threw it away.
Awful.
Yeah, Steve, because, Steve LaBelle's Storch's manager. And, Steve is going to
LaBelle don't do...
Yeah, exactly. But Steve, well, because like the Cookies started with Burner.
Yeah.
And then Steve owns all the LA side of that.
Hey, real quick, and I've been knowing Steve LaBelle a long time.
Oh God.
He's the fucking hip hop police.
Just saying. Hey, listen. I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm not gonna go anywhere near that shit.
He don't party. He don't do drugs. He's around a lot of motherfuckers that are dying. Jam Master Jay being one of them.
Yeah.
But the thing that I was really surprised with here in Vegas is we just did a tour of what was that? Redwood.
Oh yeah,
Redwood
Dispensary.
Cultivation. And they were talking about how they had to pull Willie's Reserve, which bummed me out because like I'm a huge Willie Nelson fan, and they said they had to pull it from the shelves because it was such garbage.
I could talk about that because I used to. Those were my clients actually, like back in the early days, and those guys had that same system, right? It's just Willie's name on it, and they're going and working with individual groups.
Why do you? So here's the question. So why do you think somebody who's such a cannabis guy like Willie, why wouldn't you take the time to like go and really research what you're putting your name on?
That's a really good point because it's like, that's like
that's
a branding shit. Like that's
right.
that's like putting out a T-shirt.
That's like James giving me his business card versus my business card. That's what that shit.
We're not gonna touch on that because
he doesn't smoke flower. He doesn't smoke flower anymore. He doesn't.
Who doesn't?
Willie.
Willie?
He just vapes.
No, he doesn't.
I think he just vapes now, and so. And like, look, they're they're not plant touching. They were just brand. They were working. I think they've sucked in more of that business now and control more of that quality because they were going out there and raising a lot of money.
Yeah.
So like that's in the end, that's what it comes down to is people put out these shitty brands. Like, what good celebrity brands can you name right now? There aren't a lot. And Cookies and like
I feel like Cookies is the only one that I know. Yeah, like
they pull it back too.
Burner's really like he's really picky on that stuff.
You can tell Burner's hands on just by his merch.
Bro.
Every fucking
because
thing
he's like. But that's the thing is like you say too is like you got a lot of like that's why I love the stuff that Bash does because like dude, all Bash does is smoke and he's not afraid of it.
Yeah.
He don't care like. If you're not gonna be my fan because I smoke weed, then get the fuck out of here. Like we'll do shows. And I'm like, bro, like you cannot light up on stage. And he's like, I'm not gonna perform I'm not gonna perform if I can't light up on stage. Like what are the cops gonna do?
He's
like
I got get that Snoop
yeah. Like no, but what I want to go back on is like for you like being in the weed industry, like CBD versus the weed, like is that a negative thing? Like for you being in the weed industry, is the because I feel like people try to present CBD as like, oh, this is the safe weed or whatever. Like I know it's a big difference, but do you think is that hurting the weed industry or is that being presented the wrong way?
No, it's funny because my partner, he's better at talking like not so complicated, so don't let me fucking nerd out on this, but like essentially CBD is a cannabinoid. It's one compound that is in a lot of strains of cannabis, right? So there's like in any given time like 20 to 40 cannabinoids in one nug, And that's not even talking about all the other compounds like terpenes and the stuff that give it the flavor, the smell, all that stuff. So there's all this crazy mix of shit. CBD is just one thing. Now, for the last 100 years, we've been breeding weed to get as high as fuck. So the THC levels are up and everything.
That's the big.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
but there's
the-
cannabinoids. There's like, I have a buddy, he just got his provisional license out in Massachusetts. Shout out to Hidden Hemlock, my homie. We allegedly did some stuff out in the woods growing up, and now he's got like his own.
Allegedly.
Got his own thing going.
Allegedly.
And so they, long story short, like people are. I lost my train of thought there, but
No, we were going.
Just
the
the CBD
cannabinoids,
versus
yeah,
weed.
Yeah. So CBD is just one thing in it, right? It's just, and they haul it in on that because it's like, oh, it doesn't get you high. Now, the thing about CBD, you don't get the full effect without THC, even if it's just a tiny
Like,
amount.
and when you say full effect, like, we're not talking about getting high. We're talking about like or at least what I was talking about is like the medical side of it, like the healing side, or the the good things that people have really been bringing up about the weed. That's what you're saying. You don't get that without the THC.
So you have two receptors, your CB1 and CB2 receptors, and those are what, like, when you get high, when you just use CBD, there's two and only one's engaged. When you have THC, it turns the other one around like a lock and key and fits in perfectly. The whole cannabinoid molecule fits in perfectly. So that's what actually releases shit. That's why topicals are mostly bullshit.
Well, I was gonna say I've tried CBD for joint pain, for all kinds of shit. I honestly, I have, and again, I do believe that it's a real thing, but it's like I haven't really felt or seen any effects from the stuff I've been doing. And again,
I got you.
no, yeah,
Yeah, I got
I
you.
need somebody
got you.
to point the way. And real quick, while we're on that, on the cannabis and the breaking it down, when they do this shit for cocaine one day, I'm gonna love
Oh,
it.
God.
There he
Me and-
is.
me and James,
There he is.
But
George
wait.
is
Hold
gonna
on,
be
hey,
like,
hold on. If you need a
Mr. Sniffles.
Hey, if
Oh,
you need
God.
a test recipient, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
Not
No,
because
but-
I mean I'm just
but-
because I'm your boy.
Yeah, I
Just,
got
that's
you.
the only reason.
But
Oregon.
now,
But who sits there and names all this shit?
but now there's a new thing.
Like 99
Psilocybin
million
is
strong.
coming
Oh, the
into the
psilocybin.
party.
Oh, yeah. So what are these products over here that we're looking at?
Yeah,
Well,
so
This is his product of Capsule Collective.
Correct,
I'll
yeah.
let you introduce it.
What
yeah,
is
so
Capsule Collective?
Collective, rocking the gear. It's a psilocybin lifestyle brand.
Did you bring us a shirt, by the way?
I
Yes.
did not. I'm out of shirts, man.
All right,
I
then,
got-
then-
I got
hold on,
shirts.
no, the exit's that way.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I got,
Next
I got
topic.
Some for you. They're in Hawaii. I
No,
got
was
some.
I
gonna say,
have them.
Ja-
I have
James wears a super. What is it?
Oh, yeah, we got the
medium.
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 Yeah, I got all you guys.
Cool.
There'll
We
be
got
care
you.
packs.
Next flight to back to
So what
Hawaii.
is it? What is in these capsules? What do they do to you?
So it's an all natural blend. It's psilocybin and
you have like a scary look, laugh in your eyes.
Yeah.
That's-
I know it was like
it's
it was
scaring
like
me a little bit.
take
Yeah, so,
this
like-
and come to the dark side.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's an all natural blend, and it's more of a lifestyle brand though. It's focused on like I work with a lot of athletes, comedians. It's kind of like people pulling back into
Can we try
like
one?
talking about plant medicine. Yeah, they're
So yeah, the dark
Not-
side.
not-
That's what he meant. The dark side.
non-psychoactive,
Yeah.
non-psychoactive,
Non-psychoactive.
non-psychoactive.
So
Yeah.
what would you feel from taking one of these?
It's like a little bit of like an escalation. It's like a cup of coffee, I would say, and your reaction time. So the science they're finding out is that when you consume psilocybin, it's healing synapses in your brain and like helping the electricity that passes through to like charge a thought or make you do something. It's supposedly healing those and actually greasing them up. So someone who's had a lot of head injuries like me, it's like I get like a pickup in my cognition. I struggle sometimes to like talk.
How did
correctly
you
and,
get
like,
these?
certain
How
words.
did you get these head issues?
College football. I played 4 years of college football, but I probably shouldn't have. I had like 9 recorded concussions during my time
Yeah,
playing.
see, that's like
So
true.
see-
Same with true.
So see,
But
what
it
is
wasn't
it called?
football, but-
CTE is real.
Yeah, but I've also been
Yeah.
a cannabis user since I was 15, and like a lot of the negative things that have come with it is I've learned more about mental health and like taking care of your body, and came back to this plant medicine. I mean, cannabis has always been there. I think cannabis helps too, and they do know that it does something with like clearing off some of the gunk that happens with CTE. But
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's insane. Like, if you think about like the last,
Do you
what-
smoke weed, James?
I don't, but
That's crazy.
no, I really don't.
There goes his
I-
Mexican
I
card.
really don't. White guy over here.
I'm not a weed smoker.
No,
either,
like
but-
I mean, dude, like at the end of the night, the thing about weed for me always was like, yo, like I just get tired and I'm just like over it. Like
Because
if
you're
I,
smoking the wrong
like, if-
weed and the wrong
well,
time
no,
of the
yeah,
day.
yeah, that too. But it's just like, yo, it's just never been me. But what I'm saying is like, yo, the the view on it in the last couple years. Like, how did it go from like, like weed was like the devil,
Right.
and now it's like you got these high class doctors and
They-
and everyone like, like prescribing shit and like, telling people like, this could, instead of pills.
They better let every motherfucker who is in jail on a weed
Bro.
charge. They need
Oh,
to get
yeah,
them the
that's-
fuck
that's
Well,
out
They're
of
working
prison.
on it. They're
that's
working on it.
the big fight right
Yeah,
now.
we're working on it.
How did Trump not pardon them on his way out?
Well, at least he pardoned you.
He pardoned Kwame Kirkpatrick, which is a Detroit mayor that
Kinda same
bankrupted
shit.
us.
He got Lil Wayne.
He got Lil Wayne.
He got
so-
Kodak.
He did let out a few people. He did, like their last Prisoner Project. They had several people go out during.
Well,
his
that's the
time.
thing too.
Hey,
It's like
you
there's
know,
been a
like-
lot. There's been a lot of releases. Obviously, if it's not in the headlines, if it's not Kim Kardashian
Yeah.
or whoever
Yeah.
trying to do it, like there's been a
Bro.
lot of pardons on that. Like, and it should be. It should be.
Listen,
We got a guy. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm a really good manager, and if I was Donald Trump's manager, and he's already going out on the bad tip,
What have you managed?
why didn't you fucking pardon El Chapo?
Ooh.
Oh.
You just want a discount. You just want. Hey, this guy just wants a discount.
Make
He
America,
just wants a
hey, no, I'm
discount.
like,
Make
make
America
America
great
great again. God
Because
damn it.
he wanted Joe Exotic to stay where he.
I know what happened with him.
Yeah.
No,
Dude,
hey,
he-
no sidebar, but
wasn't-
what
he
what
didn't
happened
pay
with
his-
him? He had the limo waiting
He
and
didn't
everything.
pay his fee.
Damn,
He
someone,
didn't.
hey,
He didn't.
someone,
He had a hairdresser, everything.
someone hit the wrong button on that PayPal.
Yeah.
But
like-
you were asking like
Yeah.
what how did it get here? That's a long ass fucking story, and we definitely don't have the time to say that. But what I will say, it's moving fast. And
It's
all
like a
the
long,
stuff-
But-
it's like a long
Bro,
hallway on
no one
Clubhouse.
knows, man. You're
So-
gonna have. Sorry.
So talk about this
Where do you-
microdosing lifestyle.
You know, it's funny because what I've found is there were so many people that have had bad experiences. You know, like someone ate the 500 milligram weed brownie,
that-
lost
so-
their goddamn mind.
Before we go into that, the microdosing thing, that's it's strictly edible stuff, right? Like, I mean, I hear about microdosing like mushrooms and like,
Right.
but not smoking.
I mean, you can like
You
if you have like
can.
if you're taking a vape and it's
I
like
feel like
very low dose.
You're like
THC.
got a ruler out and you're like, I'm gonna microdose this blunt right here.
So great.
Like-
Here's a
Low
great
key
example of a
bump.
So, yeah,
microdose.
see?
these
Exactly.
things, the clicks there. It's a new product out. They can get them in California. I think they're
Click.
spreading all over the place. Yeah, they're like
Mhm.
sublingual sprays. Shout out to Nootropic who hooked me up with those for y'all. But I use that night one. It has a little bit of melatonin and CBD in it.
Mhm.
I just did one squirt. It's 2.5. It's nothing for like amount of THC, but I was out and like I can. If I'm like traveling and doing shit, making shit happen, I'm like go go go. And in one of those, I was like,
See what do you think this would do? Like I've always had sleep issues for some apparent reason, but
I'll tell you what.
I've been big on I took Ambien for a very long time, and Ambien like I actually went from Ambien to taking full Xanax bars every night to go to bed.
Damn.
So I feel like like when I hear people say melatonin or something like this, for somebody who takes that big of a sleeping pill, is it gonna work for you?
so like for me, I'm like super sensitive to melatonin, and even like that, I was like, how much is this? I'm like, So it's hard to say, man, because everyone's body type is different. Because like some things that might trigger me might not necessarily work for you. And so like if you like, I recommend giving it a squirt.
Yep.
Now you're just gonna know, right? You'll know pretty quickly. Like I'll say for me, I was just like,
How many
like, went down.
squirts did you do?
I just did one. I just did one. I
Yeah.
ease in. Like you gotta ease in, right? You never. That's like the microdosing thing, right? It's you're easing in. It's not like I'm taking 5. And actually, some people think that the
You
macro-
obviously didn't do that, G-Minor.
No, the
with
best
all
way
your
to
kids.
just microdose is just cannonball into that shit, so you
Yeah.
know how your limit.
Right.
You got to go deep.
Yeah.
You got to go deep. Like the macros, I totally
have
agree.
to.
I know.
So now there's this other conversation that's going on Clubhouse, and this is crazy.
Uh-oh.
So they're talking about macro dosing, and what they say is
fucking weed
don't
people.
don't do the eighth to go to Woodstock. You need to microdose, take 5 grams to go to Wakanda.
So shout out to Uncle
I want to stay
Creepy.
in Inglewood.
Yeah. Shout out to Uncle Creepy, Ian McCall. He's doing some amazing things for the science and for the brand of like psilocybin and cannabis. Do y'all hear about what the UFC is doing with psilocybin and psychedelics now?
No, and I'm
It's
big.
legal now with the
Bro.
UFC,
he's
right?
huge about
Yeah.
UFC.
It's
Yeah.
legal
Yeah.
with the UFC.
Well,
now?
they did that with weed, but they're doing research right now,
Ooh.
and like you can pretty much directly attribute that to Ian McCall and his relationship with the organization. And
I live right right by their offices.
Yeah.
I see that shit happening daily.
So
So Nick, yeah, so my best friend Nick Diaz, he obviously was the first one to get that 5-year ban for weed, which was fucking
fucked up,
sucks
dude.
balls.
In his
ridiculous.
prime, in
which-
his fucking
yeah,
prime,
which is
too.
Fuck the
absolutely
UFC. No, I'm just-
ridiculous. And then now I heard like the UFC's in the fucking weed game, and they got their own little brands and shit.
Well, so
Oh,
you know, like
right.
you know,
Back to the
Aurora.
microdosing watch.
Do you remember
Yeah.
when they went big into it, like a year and a half, 2 years ago? I think there's this huge announcement. They're like Aurora Cannabis, UFC, da 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 da. I think Aurora Cannabis paid them a ridiculous amount of money, and then that company basically.
Those
Like,
motherfuckers.
it's
I think so. That makes
Bastards.
sense with UFC because I saw them on. They're actually on
Probably like 100 mil.
stocks.
I'm
That's why they're
guessing
in
like 100
stocks.
mil. Yeah, so that whole relationship like is gone. That thing doesn't exist anymore. So there's I think there's a lot of opportunity there. And
So when you said you said they're getting into microdosing, not just on weed but on other stuff.
oh
too?
yeah, they're looking into psychedelics because of how it helps
Oh
brain
my
trauma.
God.
Yeah.
Right.
Send,
Bro.
some,
They
send
got
a
the
fighter
big
out
caps out there. That's what
Yeah,
I've been hearing about the big caps out there.
So I mentioned Ian McCall because he was just on HBO Sports with another BJJ guy named Dean Lister, who's
Oh
also
yeah, I
in
know
the
who
UFC.
that
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
is, yeah.
So go watch the HBO Sports. It is wild. I think he did either a 5 or 7 gram dose, and he's never smoked weed. He doesn't. He's never smoked
Whoa,
weed. He's
shit.
never had done mushrooms, and he dies there. Like he's like, am I dead? Am I? Sorry, I'm not like, making fun of him too, but like it was
This
like
was
it's
Dean
real.
Lister?
It was Dean, yeah. It
Oh
was Dean.
my God.
And I think
Oh
they do
my
it in a tea,
God.
and like
He's
you
a
purge,
beast,
you
too.
throw up, like, and like it breaks you down, man, and it takes you to another universe. And the second he like the interview after the fact of how he responded to it is like it's changed his life, and like he because of head injuries and trauma. So I'm sure Ian showed this like Dana and the guys were like, look at what it's doing.
Yeah.
Like
So
you're-
they
you're
would
stupid, you're
actually
losing.
send a fighter out there on a microdose of.
I don't know. I can't speak to any of that. But what I
Yeah.
will say is that
Oh my
the
God.
science is there. John Hopkins has been researching this shit for years now, and what they're finding out is like, oh, we are supposed to be taking this stuff all the time. Not even necessarily like, psychotropic stuff, but like there's like lion's mane and cordyceps mushrooms and like these things that were part of mankind for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's absolutely crazy, man. I didn't know about that, and I have been seeing that Aurora. They've been on the stocks and
I mean,
stuff.
they haven't.
my God.
I mean, so like there's that huge crash like about a little over a year ago. All this pumped in money. They're like, oh, we're gonna own 1,000 dispensaries by the end of the year, and all these large companies are like money, money, money. No one understood culture. So you're going back to like the celebrity brands that all shit the bed. It's because no one knew the culture. No one knew the good. No one
All
was
the
growing
rich
good weed was
people.
selling their weed to those guys.
MedMen.
You know?
They were smoking that Mexican shit.
Yeah. But you know, it's like it goes back to authenticity and like quality, and that's like what we see is a huge gap in the market. And when people can step in with that and actually provide like community, there's a huge need for that today. And so
No, I feel like now so many rich people they've got involved in the weed game and they have no fucking clue what's going
Well,
on.
they've been
No clue.
decriminalizing a lot of people that are on that were distributing the psychedelics more than they are on the people that were selling weed.
Yo, coke's decriminalized in Oregon.
Yeah.
Everything's free. It's free
Jeez,
game in
crazy.
Oakland.
What?
You want your
the
ayahuasca?
fuck?
Do you want your toads?
They
Do you
would
want-
never do that.
You're
on
a
my
toad.
podcast.
You know,
Dude,
like-
toads. What's so speaking
Hey,
on
Mike
the toads?
Tyson
I don't know enough about the
does
toads.
that.
I don't know enough about the
Yeah,
toads.
real
Okay,
quick,
so look,
did you see
I know
Mike
a little
Tyson?
bit about it.
Hey, did you see Mike Tyson eat that whole eighth on Logan
Yeah,
Paul's
oh,
podcast?
yeah.
While he's talking, he's just
He was just like,
fucking-
yeah, I don't think that shit happened.
I'm pretty sure that's a microdose for Mike.
Oh
So-
man.
Yeah.
That was at least an 8.
I'm pretty sure like the dude's deep in it, but you know what? Because he sees the benefits. You know, it's like it comes down.
And this toad,
Super
apparently this toad in Mexico, I believe that's
Yeah.
where it is.
That's where it started.
It's
I guess that's what
you
they're saying.
can lick it and it'll make you hallucinate.
A real toad.
the,
A
the
toad.
way they do it,
Oh
the way
my
they
God.
Like-
it's that you smoke
Like
it
it's a
now, and they
ritual.
like I'm like I don't know anything about this, but like I know a little bit about it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't.
I mean, that's as far as
I know
mean.
enough.
I
to
have
where
done.
wanna do
I
it.
have. I have
try it.
allegedly
Wanna do
tried
it.
DMT a few times in the
Yeah.
last few
Oh,
months, and
yeah.
you want to hear some shit. You want to hear that one?
Yeah.
So I did it 3 times, and like every experience was like jolly, and I was like meeting all these other beings and like going through wormholes. And then the last one, because I was getting a little like I was definitely getting a little
In there.
hubris. I'm like, oh, I got this. I know what's going on. And then next thing I know, I got grounded up into a cosmic eternity, and like I thought I was in this place for eternity. And then like I luckily like realized I wasn't dead. I thought I was dead. I sat up, I ripped my earbuds off, and then I knew I wasn't dead. I thought I just blinked. Apparently, it'd been like 2 minutes, and then laid back down and had a goat-headed dude dancing over me. Like another woman came out and was like telling him, "Don't
You
kill
want
me."
me
and
to-
shit.
That's a peek into your
That's how he found his
subconscious.
clone. That's how he found his
Have
clone.
you done
Yeah.
DMT? Have you done DMT?
Yeah, I did DMT at the last EDC. It
Oh
was
my
like
God.
some dude
I've
handed me
never
a
tried
Come
it.
pen.
on, you
Yeah.
gotta.
It was
Oh,
like
bro,
in a
that
vape
was-
mode.
Yeah, so the vape,
Well-
like, it's
I
not
was like,
as
what
heavy.
is this?
It's
I
not
thought it
as
was
heavy.
weed.
Blasting, and then there's blast. There's that, and then there's blasting
did-
off.
Bro, there's
I did
And I
the
thought I wanted to
herb.
blast off, but I'm like,
there's a
like,
good
I
20
didn't touch
minutes where I
that
don't
for a little
recall.
while.
There's a good 20
Yeah.
minutes where I don't remember shit.
It lasts about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what
But
I
it
heard.
feels longer.
There was a good 15, 20 minutes where I was like, where the fuck am I?
I didn't mean.
And I was supposed to be responsible for these DJs that I took there.
Yeah.
Probably not
The
the,
best
right time
part
to
is they
take
had
it.
me drive them back home. I was like, all right, fuck it. Yeah, I'll drive you guys back home.
Yeah,
my
you
God.
can. You'll after it, you'll feel great.
I was
you
fuck-
don't.
I was normal.
It's
I'll say that like that something happened that definitely changed me, and like I know people talk about like psychosis and like bad shit can happen, but
Yeah.
that changed me for the better. I realized some shit. One
I
is
believe it.
time is an illusion. Like 'cause
Right.
that was eternity, and then I thought I blinked, but it was 2 minutes from the time I'd actually gone under, and so I'm sitting there and like I've been integrating that shit for months still. Like it's like
I think I had a relapse recently. It was like 30 minutes of I was just like I thought I just blinked my eyes, but it was 30 minutes, and I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck just happened?
you learn a lot about yourself
It's
in
a-
those experiences.
it's an out of body experience.
Yeah, it is.
So you're
yeah.
actually
like I've done shrooms a
looking at
lot, but I
yourself.
feel like I keep,
No,
like
shrooms is different than DMT.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like, is there an age for DMT? Like I feel like I'm too old to
I think
try
it's a
that.
level.
No,
I
you're-
think it's a
you're-
level,
level?
to it.
No, you're good.
Good.
Yeah, we need to get you
So-
DMT's quick. It's like 10 minutes. Ayahuasca's like 8 hours.
Oh, I
couple
don't,
days.
I don't know. I don't know about ayahuasca.
It's a lab,
Don't
bro.
put that
I
guy
got, I
on.
got my
Lick
guy.
the toad,
I got
no
my guy.
homo.
I got the guy who took Richard Branson into the forest. So
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
my. He's a good
There you
family
go.
friend.
You're in good
Yeah,
hands.
I got you.
I would
Mickey's
probably,
Allstate?
I would probably do it with Richard Branson.
Bro, they say
Yeah,
you
for
leave your
sure.
body, like you see your whole body leave your body when you take your fucking.
and you go
lick
into
the
like
toad.
every emotion.
You go to another
Yeah.
universe for sure.
They say you die to see yourself, and then you come back and you're good.
So how did you feel about yourself?
I've never
when
taken it.
you-
I want to take it. I want to
oh.
take the real lick the toad. I want to take that. I want to do that shit. I want to go on like
Oh,
what do you
man.
call it? The reservations to do that.
And get the shaman.
That's what they say. Yeah.
I don't think you have to go far here though.
Fuck.
It's just the Sonoran toad.
No,
which
there's
is,
like a place 45 minutes from
Yeah.
here where we could go
Can
and
I
fucking
just? I
wild
just
out for
want
8
to
hours.
watch. I just want to see what happens.
You know what though? It doesn't look that like when it does it. Some of them is like you're there, like you're there and you're not moving, but
Yeah.
that's not what it feels like. That's not what it feels like. You're somewhere else,
Well, you saw Mike Tyson said he felt his anger just leave his body.
bro. It's I can
His
attribute
anger?
He
this
said
shit
he
to.
saw it. He said he's seen the whole frustration, the whole power, and everything.
So I was. So
What
you're
the
talking about like
fuck?
the. There was a time in high school where it was easier for me to get mushrooms than it was for me to get someone to buy me beer. So like I
Facts,
had
yeah.
a lot of established my bachelor party like 11 years ago. I ate like 5 grams. We were partying, and then it turned into me
God.
seeing babies having their heads ripped off by demons, and like I was like imagining I was
Whoa!
my
What
head
kind
was
of bachelor party was that?
Oh, was it? But you know what? That's
Yeah.
shit
Oh,
manifesting.
no, yeah,
And
yeah.
that turned me off for
Mhm.
8-9 years. Like I was just like, I don't ever want to see that shit again. But that was shit manifesting in like there was stuff in me that I didn't know
Right.
at the time that was manifesting into that. And so now that I know that, like there was someone talking about today, there's no such thing as a bad trip, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Even when you're like losing your mind on brownies, when you're losing your mind on whatever, like there's shit inside you, and what it does is we know is it unlocks shit. And like I won't go too deep, but I know someone who went on an ayahuasca trip and like unlocked a whole bunch of sexual trauma, and it created an international manhunt. Like it's crazy what this shit's doing to people. Yeah.
Holy
Whoa!
crap.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I can't go. It's like I can't go too
Yeah,
deep into it.
yeah.
I'll
We'll
be,
talk
I'm more
about
comfortable
it,
saying offline, but like,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, it's some crazy shit.
I went to a ritual with Super James. He invited me to. I was kind of pissed at him because he invited me to that shit.
Oh yeah.
They did something about a goat, and the goat started squirting. I was like, I'm out. I'm out, bro. I'm
Santeria.
gonna smoke my blunt and I'll
What
see you
kind of
guys.
fucking parties are you guys going to?
We get invited to crazy parties.
Yeah, that's fucking.
Don't
nut-
wanna
It was
know.
called the ritual. Let's just say.
That's a
was called the
terrible
ritual.
name for it.
Yeah, now we're just scooted to the Illuminati.
No, no.
If I
I'm
see
not,
if
I'm
I
not
see a
doing
goat
it.
bleeding, it better come with BDL tacos after that.
Yeah, right.
Oh my word, man.
tacos.
Hey, so what do you guys think about just this speaking of UFC, Conor McGregor getting beat? What the fuck was that?
Ooh, that was I called it.
Hey, did you
I
see
called
that
it.
Yeah.
they had Bernie choking him out.
Oh my god.
That was probably the best
Damn
meme
it.
from the
Oh
fight.
my
Right.
God.
Burn.
Internet's
Right.
undefeated. Internet's
You saw they
undefeated.
cut
Well,
away from him
you
so
know-
quick.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is it's like he's such a big superstar, and what people don't realize, it's like in the UFC, fans forget so fast. So it's like, when I look at my friends, people that have been in the game a long time, like a Nate Diaz and Masvidal, they got 10 plus losses. And, so McGregor takes an L, I don't know what it was, his third or fourth or whatever. And all of a sudden, he's just, he's off to the side as muck. And I'm like, number one in this sport, I think that was his first fight in 2 years. You can't go away for that long and come back. I mean, just shit evolves so quick. But, I mean, I don't think, I was trying to figure out, like, is it a mental thing? Like, is this really going to mentally
Dude,
destroy him?
He got his
Yeah,
whiskey
dudes.
plug in there. Like, he was still getting paid.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying when people
But
always
yeah,
say
I understand.
when
what
you
you're saying.
got money like that, your life does change 100%.
I think it was an acting gig
You think
for
you got a
him.
little
I think
sauce?
it was yeah. No,
Well-
I think he got a little paid to take that L. Because
That's
you saw
what
how
I
he came
thought.
out. You
That's
see
what
how
I
he
thought.
came
I
out.
was
Oh
like,
my
it was
God.
too
God.
graceful.
It was like he's waiting
that
for him to
God.
punch him again. Like he was
Right.
taking them punches and was like, "No, keep going, bro."
Man, we gotta get
Bro.
we gotta get that with Super James right there.
You can't discount Dustin
That's after a
Poirier,
weekend
though.
with Super James.
Yeah,
That's what
no.
it's like.
No, Dustin Poirier looked good.
No,
and he looked ready as fuck.
Dude,
Yeah, dude.
Dustin's been looking really good, and like I
Yeah.
said again, like even when Conor lost to Khabib, I mean, come on, man, you cannot sit out 2 years and come back and then fight a guy
No.
at that type of level, that hasn't stopped. That Dustin's been going on
And that's
for-
all he's been doing.
Going
for,
hard.
for a
yeah.
minute, and
Right.
so I look forward. They keep saying, I don't know what's gonna happen. I know Nate's going back down to 55. I think that was a spoiler alert, unless you're right.
UFC's the new WWF.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ever since
Right.
the
It's
WME,
acting. It's
Yeah.
acting now.
Acting.
ever since WME stepped in, it's
It's-
like.
Trash.
Oh,
To me, it's
yeah.
trash. But I'm gonna still watch it.
Bro.
But I'm a bootleg it.
But the thing
Ah!
is, oh yeah,
Hey,
you better
hey,
don't be saying that.
don't be admitting that. He went after somebody for that.
hear
Cool.
that.
I heard him talking
Yeah.
about it. I was like,
Yeah.
watch it.
A guy,
Catch me.
a troll, hit up Dana White directly, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to pirate this shit." or
Yeah, I
whatever."
saw that.
Bro.
Yeah.
And it was a bar owner like in Idaho, and they fucking
Ooh.
got him, and they got him for $75,000. I'm like, holy
Catch me
shit!
Dana
for
White.
something. I'm gonna just file for bankruptcy.
when you got those bees, that's not the type of person you want to fuck with. You know,
No.
it's like
Well, it's funny
No.
that it even hit Dana White's radar, but it's like, oh, you talk about
yeah,
money.
he
it come-
addressed it during
that's
the
his
fight.
money.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
That's his
yeah.
money. Yeah.
So
That's hilarious.
That's nuts. But yeah, so I look for so let's say it wasn't for real, and it very well couldn't have been. What would it be setting up though? Like who's gonna fight Conor next? Or being that Dustin got that win, he can't fight Khabib again. I
No,
mean,
they'll just
No.
do a part 2, and the part 2 will make just as much, if not more.
yeah, but they said that with Nate and them should have had their part
Well-
3 like a
Well,
long
now
time.
they'll bring in
now
the
they're
Nates
gonna
and
have
that's
part
it, 'cause
3
now they will
of
bring
these
them in.
guys.
That's
because of the weed stuff.
That's
weed
the
lift.
only thing that makes sense now is that Conor just comes back and fights Nate, and then I think they should both just ride into the sunset because
Oh, I
Well,
love it.
they're
Holding-
gonna
holding
have
hands, kissing.
they're gonna have Connor and Dustin fight again for the They're gonna do a trilogy
They,
with
they
that.
said that, didn't they?
well,
Yes,
They
I
said that.
heard
they
Nate
did.
talking about it, and he's like, "How?" He's like, "Both of them lost to the guy with the fucking belt."
Right.
But Khabib did come out and say that Dustin was like he's the dude who's next. Like he like gave the most praise to Dustin out of anyone. And
You think Khabib would come back?
I don't know,
dude,
man.
If
I
he
have this.
does, he's killing.
I
He's
have
gonna
this.
kill
I have
whoever's
this
in
gut.
there.
I have this gut feeling that it's gonna be George St. Pierre for
Oh,
Khabib. That's
God.
gonna. That's it. I mean, he can't fight Conor. He choked Dustin out so quick.
Ooh.
That Michael Chandler ain't ready for Khabib.
I
You
don't know,
coming out of
man.
Bellator, even though he looked
phenomenal. I mean,
but again, the Dan Hooker, he had a good record, but he's still not. He wasn't a staple. He
and he's had
wasn't.
some hard fights, man. Like all of his fights are fucking battles.
yeah.
And that wears on you. You know, like there's
There was no easy fight for him.
no, that dude's
No.
never had an easy fight, and he's risen to the top all the time. But
He wasn't a
there's-
Floyd.
You put those miles
Right.
in. You put
Yeah.
those miles in. It's
No, something that we haven't seen when you were talking about the CTE is like, you hear about it and see about it with a lot of NFL players, but like UFC hasn't cycled yet. So you're gonna see these guys like the Chuck Liddells, the Tito Ortiz. This is when you're gonna see like how, you're gonna start to see the effects of the blows that these guys have taken because. to take, I see what happens to boxers,
Mhm.
and I'm like, it's a total different level. I mean, you're taking knees, you're taking. I mean, we just haven't seen the outcome, and like the Randy Couture's and them, like that's gonna be the outcome. We're gonna see what how they live the rest of their life mentally, after being in them brawls like that.
I mean, maybe Dana's being a little before time and saying like, oh, I'm already thinking what's going to happen to these dudes' heads. And you remember when Chuck, like during the quarantine was happening in Huntington Beach, and like Chuck was out there like basically like fighting off people, and it looked like he was with the team that people didn't want him to be on there. And you were looking at him and like he looked like a mess, man. And like I'm sitting there and I'm like that's what it looks like. You saw, I don't know if anyone saw his last fight. It was like one hit and he was out. So that dude's a legend. But like that's
Yeah.
what
Tito?
happens.
But it's really like, yo, how many of those fights do you take until you're like
Well,
not right? Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
I
yo,
agree
that's,
with Dana was super mad, and it's like, dude, you don't let somebody who's been out the game. Tito never got out the game. Chuck Liddell was out the fucking game for like 7-8 years. That should have never happened. I mean, it just should have never happened. And I mean, I don't know if Chuck did it for money. I don't know what the draw there was, but what is that, G Minor? Is that another?
look at
little
True wanted that.
Yeah, here.
Come on.
Pass those cups back.
Look at
Okay.
he's
While
got
we're
it right.
All
While
right,
we're on it. I mean,
While we're on the subject,
we're in Vegas at the UFC. We got the whole little camp going on over by G Minor's house.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know,
So
that-
then, what? So let's move on to fucking Tom Brady. What where the
My
fuck is
guy.
this guy? Is still
Going
here.
to the Super Bowl?
my favorite meme over the last couple of weeks is the one where it's like, it's just Tom Brady. It was like, joins any team. Hey guys, you want to go to the Super
Yeah.
Bowl? Like that's like real talk.
Can I
Like,
hit you with another one?
Yeah.
So this is the one I saw today. So Tom Brady, his percentage of going to the Super Bowl is 47%. Do you know Steph Curry's 3-shot is 43? So Tom Brady is
Holy
more likely to go
shit.
to a Super Bowl than Steph Curry
is
is
to hit a three.
Oh.
Like literally, like it's crazy.
Oh my god.
How the
Like-
hell did he take the Buccaneers?
What's
to the
what's
Super
crazy
Bowl?
though? Like I think when like to have like a Robert Kraft in them, and to for them to basically think Brady was at the end of the thing, it was basically his way of saying his coaching is that powerful. But now we just found out it was not. That was Tom's land over there, and
Right.
not that Bill Belichick isn't a bad coach, but I mean I think he made a bad decision.
You got to remember too, they had the most players that ended up doing when they took the year off essentially because of COVID. They had like 9 players. And they had like Dante Hightower. They had like serious dudes,
Just opt out.
starters. Pat Chung. They opted out for the year. Yeah, so because of COVID.
For you said you were did you say you were a New England fan?
Yeah, I'm from
Yeah.
Massachusetts originally.
Did Cam Newton make it through the whole season?
Yeah, he did.
So
kind
you
of.
think he's gonna get a better contract, or they're gonna move on?
I don't know. I think they're moving on.
He was kind of like a super weird pick for the New England to come with. I mean,
We
But
were
what
hopeful.
do you think about that in general though? Like, I always look at that like as far as the COVID stuff goes, like, being a DJ, like obviously we lost all our stuff or whatever, but like, obviously sports got back to it, but I mean I feel basketball is more like influential as far as having a crowd goes. Like if you're playing football, it's a bigger stadium, but like, dude, that's like, imagine playing with no one in the stadium. Like that's got to be
Right.
like 99% of your energy is the fucking crowd.
yeah.
like,
Well, you know what? I liked what Connor said before that fight when he said he heard they were fighting in the big stadium. He said he was pumped when he thought there wasn't gonna be fans, because he's like, you're gonna really hear how loud
Like,
those,
those
those hits are.
like,
and
yo,
that-
I'm gonna be fucked.
And
like,
so, but I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I feel like from every sport is different, because it's like,
Dude,
like
that-
boxing is obviously more close contact, more, it's more scaled in. Football, you got the whole stadium, but and they got people playing fake, like, cheering noises and all
Oh,
that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yo, no,
yeah.
like, yo, I got,
They have to boost
yeah,
up to
like
a
I got
certain decibel.
That's
homie,
fucking retarded.
yeah, I got
Even
homie.
the Tyson fight, they did
Yeah.
that. That it actually sounded a little.
I mean, dude, she
Decent.
just touched on it. I think that was a joke.
What did
Shout
you
out to
guys-
Weed Maps,
The-
by the
the-
way.
Weed
They're-
Maps?
Yeah, shout out to Weed Maps. They're a partner of ours.
Right.
We're doing a whole conference with them. Amazing organization, doing a lot of really good stuff for the cannabis industry. So
Oh, I see
Right,
them.
they
Who-
partnered on that.
It was because
right?
wasn't the Tyson?
yeah.
Tyson was
Yes.
Weed Maps and Triller, right?
Yeah,
Triller,
yeah,
Yes,
Triller.
Triller.
Yeah, that's my boy.
what did
Mo.
you guys?
Shout out to
What did
Sleazy.
you guys think about that Tyson fight?
Honestly, I thought the production was good. It was great. It was
I
great.
think
it was fantastic.
Snoop,
It was better.
Snoop just took the whole fight. I mean, like, yo,
Yeah.
you seen how much stuff he is like booked. Like his calendar is crazy. Like his calendar is crazy now. Like they want him to host anything and everything. Like yo.
And you're like, how did I get stuck with Baby Bash?
Ah,
Hey, someone forward that clip to Bash.
Yeah.
Someone forward, because when Bash is gonna
Oh,
be on
yeah,
here, we're
he's
gonna
gonna-
fuck this
yeah,
guy
he's
up.
No.
Nah, Snoop killed,
love him.
but it was like Snoop killed that.
But
Like,
they
The-
had
the production
they had Lil
was-
Wayne.
the-
They had
No, but the-
Wiz
the-
Khalifa, but yeah, he
Game.
was the announcer.
No, Little Wayne
and there
did.
was,
commentator.
no, dude, Lil Wayne didn't show
perform.
up, and they had YG, and YG performed like some shit that
Yeah,
I didn't.
dude,
like
he
I
didn't
listen to
That's
music.
right.
Yeah.
That's
It
right.
was-
that
no,
was a
like,
little weird.
The
He
production
should've-
wise was it was trash. But then
YG should have
like
did the hits. and he
literally
didn't.
no, he literally didn't do one song that was on the radio. Like
Yeah, no.
I know you
it's-
got to understand. Like
Right.
you got a bunch of white
Last
people.
time
Like
that I
you know,
checked-
like True's
Yeah,
family
that's
is
what I-
watching the show.
I'm
Like
that was
I'm
that
like,
was
who's
a little.
that guy? I'm like,
Yeah.
who's
That was
that guy?
a little different.
yeah, if he would have done something.
Little Wayne didn't make it because of the charge he got, right?
There was
I
there
think
was
that's
there
what
was
the
a
deal
bunch
was.
of speculation on
Hey,
that, but
Little Wayne missed fucking Life is Beautiful last
Oh, yeah,
couple years
that's
ago because of
right.
a.
you know it's
Yeah.
crazy. Is Wayne, you know Wayne's been back and forth through that. Me and G Minor did. You remember when Drake performed at House of Blues? Not House of Blues.
That was about to
The
say, that
joint,
had to
the
be a
joint,
long
the
time ago.
joint at the Hard Rock, the joint, and it was the day after Wayne got out of jail.
Oh, okay.
And Drake was like, he came out like, yo, like Drake goes, yo, Wayne's not coming just because I don't want to disappoint you guys. Wayne's not coming. He had to be with his family.
Yeah,
you know, and then
something
but
funny
like
about
yo,
that?
like 9 songs later, who comes out? Lil Wayne. Like
You-
that was when like
Oh shit.
You want to know something weird? He got a. They booked Drake the after party at the Wynn, and they said the same thing. Like everybody said,
Yeah.
Wayne was gonna come, and then they said Mr. Wynn said that Little Wayne couldn't even enter the
Yeah.
property, and Drake was pissed because he's like, "Yo, that's my homie." He just
Yeah,
got out of
but that
jail."
I mean that's some Vegas shit. Like
That is
Vegas,
some
Yeah.
Vegas shit is like, yo, you like Tupac could say, I'm not dead, and the Wayne would be like, oh well, you're still not allowed on our property. even though this
Yeah,
shit
they
wasn't
would.
built when you died, you're still not allowed on our property. Like that's some
That is some Vegas shit.
that's some Vegas shit. You know what I mean? But that's how it went down. Like and I think it was just, you know, and no one not this year, but last year, no one knew what to do. Like what, like production value, all that, like on a fight.
Dude,
you know,
that they said at Life is Beautiful, they said Little Wayne was there. His fucking DJ was up on stage starting the music, and Little Wayne was so fucked up he didn't get out
yeah,
the
no,
car.
I mean,
But
dude,
he was there at the festival. He just didn't fucking.
Yeah,
perform.
no,
and he
and-
left his poor DJ up there just chilling.
But those are those are the experiences where it's like, yo, like I've been through that with multiple artists where it's like, look do we put this artist on stage in that mind state, or do we just say fuck it and just call it a night?
Did y'all
Hey,
watch the Little
Yeah.
Peep? Did you watch the Little Peep documentary?
oh
Yes,
yeah, that
we
was
Yeah,
did.
bro,
that was
like-
really good.
Yeah, and there's that one side where he's like not even talking; he's just standing
Yeah,
there. and,
yeah,
like,
no,
barely
and
standing
it was
there,
like with Avicii, like when Avicii was like 13,
Right.
14, he was opening all these shows at the Wynn and everything, and dude, he would do interviews afterwards, and it was like he couldn't even speak, like why? First of all,
Right.
That's fucking-
why are you putting this content out? And second of all, we're now what 9-10 years later, and now he commits suicide. Like you saw him being that person, you know, 9 years ago, and now
And you
you're
guys
like,
save it
and
for the documentary, right.
now everyone's sad because like, yo, no, you saw him in that mindset years ago. You guys worked him to death, and now like fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that we ran into. Like part of the ways we got into the game too was like watching the artists getting screwed. So one of my partners is from music. He was with Street Kings and came up in the industry. And I was mentoring him on another project. Then he was like, "Hey, Sonny wants this brand," so that's how we started down it. But he saw that there's a huge opportunity for the artists, and they just weren't getting represented properly. Because this is like the final frontier. You're not touring right now. You might not be getting as much.
Oh,
from
dude, this is
Spotify.
like, but that's what people don't understand is like, you know, you're the biggest artist in the world right now, but probably 3 years ago, you sold your soul to the record label. Like if you're not doing shows and selling merch, you could be the biggest artist in the country, and you're not making a dime. Your record label's fucking just blowing up, but
Whoa.
as an artist, you're just
Hey,
done.
Domo, I
Whoa.
see a bunch of little crazy notes over here. What do you
Oh,
got?
no,
What do you got wrote down?
I know.
I
Look
have
at a little teddy bear
something-
next to it.
Yeah.
So there,
I like the little
my
pen.
Toki Doki.
That's true.
There's some news in the hoe business. There's a
what's that?
war on porn.
How do we get in the whole business? Like, is there an app for that too, or no?
No,
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm just.
Could you-
deep-
could
I'm
you-
deep
could
in
you-
the hoe business?
Could you
so.
like text me the updates? Could we get like a
I'll
a group
clubhouse-
text?
I will be in a clubhouse,
I'm
and
not,
I'll.
because if I'm in clubhouse, I'm
Hey,
gonna be
I'm
down
gonna
9 hallways
I'ma let you
tonight.
in my room.
I'm gonna be down 9 hallways tonight.
Wait
and I'm
till you
gonna be
see, though,
deep.
I had people I was telling 2 months ago, I'm like, get on this app now. And they're like, oh, I don't want another social app. I don't know.
Right.
They hit me back, hey, did you send me that invite? I'm like, yeah, I did a
Right.
month and a half ago,
But
brother.
see, that's the thing hard. That's hard too, is because it's like, as like if you're just, I don't want to say like a normal person or be like, just like if I'm just like, someone, and I don't, of course, I don't want to know social media, but the hard part is like, if you're in the industry or you know what I mean, like one of us, like you have to be
Have
up on
to.
all that shit. Like
you have to.
I was like when the COVID started, me and G Minor were like heavy on the Instagram live and all that, and it was popping and whatever. Now there's Twitch, so it's like, dude, now we got to ask all our, we got 16, 17,000 followers on Instagram. So now I got to ask all these people to go make a Twitch
Switch
app.
over,
Like,
yeah.
like it's
I can't
fucking crazy.
Key, what's going on in the hoe business, Domo?
Yeah,
Well, if you
actually,
guys-
that's right.
You know what? It's not
need to keep
even.
up
Let me
with
get the
this shit.
password.
I mean, it just affects
I need
us
a backdoor.
more. But if you haven't heard, like today, like Silicon Valley guys are fighting between like Facebook, Apple, and Gmail. And what's going on now is Twitter is getting threatened to change their policies with nude content. I don't know if you've been on Twitter, but it's damn near porn on there.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's the
So-
thing was because
But
but it
it's-
goes back to like
he's acting like he's not on.
But
there.
it's our only
I'm heavy.
source.
Dude, Twitter's my shit because I'm like, Twitter was like the first social media, like that's like
Right.
going back to your high school, like
I never even did
But
a Twitter.
you're
it's
stupid because
so-
I follow you on there.
Dude,
Okay.
I mean, bro, that's a fake
No,
page, dude.
no, but for real though, like it's per platform.
So Instagram is a hater. They don't like us.
But that's because Facebook bought Instagram.
yes.
That's how the DJs got
Exactly.
screwed. That's how the DJs
And
got screwed.
now, like Twitter is literally our last little limb to that actual regular social media.
And that Twitter guy looks like he ain't leaving.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he
No, Jack's
looks
not going
scary.
Yeah.
But
he don't give a shit. He's
so
he's
if
good.
they
Fresh blood.
basically,
Yeah.
if they
He's fucking-
basically,
he's building the wall.
change their policies that they're getting threatened by the Apple Store, that Twitter doesn't conform, they're going to be taken off the Apple Store.
But at
But
this
what
point,
are they
is that-
going to do?
But at this point, yeah, like
They're
literally,
gonna conform.
if well, not only that, but it's like I think for them, like if the Apple Store takes Twitter off, is that really gonna hurt Twitter?
They're
Like there's
yes,
there
it
how
can,
though? How
it
I,
can.
I would
mean,
like to
for
see the numbers.
them-
I would like to see the numbers of how many new people a day they get.
Well, this is the other thing is there's a bill, technically FOSTA SESTA. This is the thing that's really hurting sex workers because we're tied into the human trafficking, like stop
Yeah,
human
yeah, of
trafficking
course.
shit.
Are
I
you
mean,
a
but
human
you're-
trafficker?
No,
Domo?
I'm not a
Okay.
human trafficker.
If you are, I'll
We're on OnlyFans. We promote our stuff. You used to just be all out there. You could just put a Craigslist ad. You could put a Backpage
What I
ad.
was going to say, Backpage. Go back to.
Where's Backpage? Is that gone now?
Well, those motherfuckers got caught up, and they did have some people putting like young
But they
girls
just
on
no.
there.
Well, not only that, they just got ruthless. They were like, "Yo, we're fucking killing it. Let's go."
Listen,
They went balls to the wall.
And they actually.
that's what Tru told
they
me.
went
I don't
to
know.
court, and all they did was
I was on Backpage
express
all the
their
time.
Fifth Amendment. So they
I
didn't
met
even
Tru
fucking-
on Backpage actually.
yeah. Hey, you know how Nick and Nate
You
said
guys
in the
would.
UFC, they're like everybody's on steroids. When people ask me about girls in Vegas, I'm like, everybody's an escort. Right? I don't give a fuck. The waitress.
Nah,
Hey,
if
you
you
better
didn't-
monetize how you're doing it.
If
Yes.
you weren't born
'Cause
in
they're-
Vegas,
they're
you're
coming.
an escort.
Yeah.
If you moved to Vegas and you
Hey.
weren't born here, You're an escort.
Listen,
But
if
that's
somebody
like
would
And
everybody.
half the people that were born here are escorts too, though.
If-
So.
You're an escort.
Actually, I am.
I
As
was
a matter
gonna
of fact,
say,
that's how I met True.
I'm like,
That's how I met True.
if somebody had paid me, I'd do it.
Both of you guys, all of you guys are all escorts.
That's how we met one night. We were battling.
Everything
But we'll
is-
talk about
So-
that later.
Who you're
Everything
pimping
is-
yourself out for.
Everything is for
right.
sale.
Oh my
So
God.
basically, why I'm sort of fascinated with the cannabis thing, because they're kind of like the whores too. They get shadow banned. They have
my
problems
God,
of like
bro.
actually promoting their
But
thing.
yeah, but that's what's crazy is like, and I felt too, like I told you guys, like I don't smoke, like I never really have, like since I was a kid, like I've never really been in that, but being on the road with Baby Bash, and Bash is like so diehard about the marijuana stuff because
Yes.
he's been around so many people that have died off of heroin or pills or whatever, and that is like, that's the thing, is where I feel like yo, when I was growing up, my dad was a dare officer, and it was like, yo, and I probably shouldn't say this, but it was like, yo, like fucking marijuana is the devil, and now it's like where like, yo, James, could Bash give me some pins, or like, you know what I mean? Like it's really come around, and that's
Yeah.
it's good, and it's blessed because I've seen it health wise help so many people and
Right.
save so many people.
So this is my thing, and I'm not a weed smoker at all. And Domo here has shaman.
She can
me in.
hang.
But
She
you
can
want to
hang.
know what's crazy? So when when I do it, besides the desire to eat,
Would do what?
when I smoke weed,
Oh my
okay,
God.
okay. I just had to clarify.
I just dude, it was crazy
I
because
can't be around him.
dude,
when
I
he
smoke and I just start cackling, talking
He
shit,
starts talking
like.
shit to me.
Yeah, like, and it was really funny the first time. Like, I didn't know if I was smoking right because I'm like, dude, I don't get high, but there was so much bad shit that like garbage I was smoking out here, that finally when I smoked the good shit, she had actually went down and slept in this other room, and I was like, I went down, I knocked, and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just want to apologize for being annoying. If I ever was annoying while you were high, because now that I'm high, I know what annoying feels like. And I'm like, I'm sorry for that. And she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, I'm apologizing for the past. And I'm like,
Right.
weed is still a drug. I mean,
It's
you-
inflective.
no, it's
it's very
literally-
inflective too, brother.
It's
like,
but it's like it's a whole different mind state. You know what I mean? I tell people too. Like I was telling you mine earlier. I was like, yo, like we're doing this. Like today is gonna be pretty much about weed. I was like, we probably shouldn't drink as much, like, because I know a lot of people that are really on the cannabis stuff. They don't really drink. It's a different thing. Like it's a different calm for everyone. It's
Chill.
it could be someone's protection. Like I know me, like when I'm just stressed out and whatever, like I just want to drink and like just loosen up and whatever. But I know the same people that like, they just let me
I
smoke.
think with weed, you have to get to a point. Like, I look at it like, it was like when I was in high school, I started chewing. So it's like the first time you take a chew,
You're right.
you're like fucked up. But it's like if you do it continuously, then because I'm like, how are these people?
It's like the tolerance level.
No, as I said,
Right.
how
Yeah,
are they
no, 'cause-
smoking and going about their fucking
Yeah,
day
that's
and getting
but
shit done, like-
it's literally that tolerance is there no matter what it is, whether it's alcohol. Like you do, like I could drink with someone all night, and then someone else that doesn't drink, like an hour into the night, they're done. It was like me, like I used to go to shows with Bash, and like I wouldn't even smoke, and just the secondhand high, like by the time we get to the venue,
Right.
I'm like, yo,
bro, that's the thing.
I'm high as
Thing.
fuck.
Mhm.
Like, that's what's crazy about weed is like, yo, if you're around people smoking, like
contact
you get
high.
that contact, and like, cause you obviously off of alcohol, you can't
So
get
that's
a
not
contact.
that's not a myth. The secondhand smoke.
No,
getting-
No.
you could
No,
so
that
totally
I feel
get
like
somebody.
if you don't smoke, that contact is worse than when you smoke.
I had this roommate,
Yeah.
never had smoked weed, like, and he didn't even know what it smelled like, and like I thought for a long time he knew. So like we were like smoking in the bathroom. Come to find out that like one day it smelled like, I'm like, it smells good in here, and he's like, I don't know, what does it smell like? I'm like, weed. He's like, oh, I've never smelled it. Next thing you knew, we're always smoking inside. And then he finally figures out that we're all
Yeah.
potheads, and he would just sit down on the couch, we'd be playing Halo, like jamming out, and then when we moved, I'm sitting there, I'm like, dude, this dude is probably gonna get withdrawals from just sitting on the couch.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
we're
it's
just sitting there.
bad. I'll tell
I
you
know,
from first hand experience, it's bad. Like I've literally showed up to venues and like, oh, we got a SUV, and I'm in the back of the SUV, and Bash and whoever is in the car, they're Slim Thug, whoever, smoking all the way there, and I'm in the back like, dude, like just like I'm high as fuck.
Like
And I
a
haven't,
bitch,
I haven't
man.
not,
You gotta
I have
handle
not.
that.
Yeah, no, like it's all good, but I'm just saying, like, dude, that second high, like, if you don't smoke that second high, like, that's real.
Dude, they're
It's
looking at James. All the
They're like,
baby
yo,
Bash
you're-
fans are
Yeah.
like, they're like, there's the dealer.
Yeah. They're like, yo,
We know the
so
buckets
he
now.
has all the
He's
drugs.
oddball.
Yeah,
Oddball
no,
out.
it's
Yeah.
real though.
Dude, it's,
But
I mean, I started smoking weed. I remember I hated it, and I worked at Hooters at the time. And
Everybody in the whole business started
I
at
just-
Hooters, by the way.
I used to work at Hooters, by the way. No,
I
I'm just
had
like-
one of those people do that dine and dash thing, so they didn't pay, and I was
Oh,
like on this
I've done
shit,
that.
and then I
I've
hung
done
out
that with him. a
when
lot
I
of times.
worked at GameStop too. There was a GameStop party.
Real
Yeah.
quick,
Hold on.
shout out to fucking Marcus Two Braids. I
Look at him.
I don't know this guy, but this guy the other day I wake up and he just, I mean, this dude is filthy and he's just like, buy fucking GameStop. So what did I do? I bought GameStop.
Oh,
What
see,
happened?
I don't know.
made
Stock shit.
I don't know, yo. I don't know
fuckload of
how,
money.
but when I switched with G-Man, when I came back with G-Man, I was gonna hit on that stock shit.
Bro,
Yeah.
I went through the roof.
All I
Now listen to
hear.
this. So
But
I,
is your shit like stuck somewhere? Like
no, so listen. So I
it's
made
a
the
big
money.
ass transition. How did we go to that? Like that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Because game, no,
That's
because
crazy as fuck.
Basically, a nerd from GameStop gave me my first joint.
Oh, there you go.
Bong
So-
rip.
I can
Bong
actually,
rip.
I can see
But
somebody
anyways.
at GameStop. doing that.
They thought you were from the game Zelda.
But you know what they did? This is how.
No, I
tricky-
worked there part time
oh,
too.
shit.
So
And didn't you become a manager there?
yeah,
Did you
I
say-
was a manager.
So
I was
you
just
bought-
a manager at
So
GameStop.
you bought people's $60 games. You bought them back for like $2.
Dude.
$2.
No, man, it was reservations. You had to get those motherfuckers to
See,
reserve a game.
She's like, you don't recognize me? I'm the girl from
They
Zelda.
reserved games.
Dude,
at
you want to
GameStop?
know those nerds? They did not like me. I would be like, yo, like, what's this
You were
game
too
about?
sexy for them.
Yeah, no, they hated
Yeah.
me.
See?
They're
They
like, what's
hated
she doing
me.
in here? She doesn't.
And then
know
they were
what
like,
it
they
is.
were
This
like,
fucking
you gotta
girl.
play. And I was like, man, fuck you guys. So that's what I did. I played the video games.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, "Fuck these guys."
Yeah.
That's what I did.
No.
Fuck you guys. So that's what I did.
wasn't a hoe back then.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
okay,
shit.
so
I wasn't a
that's
hoe,
how-
but yeah, no,
Oh,
I would
thought we
not
got it.
fuck those
That was
guys.
about to be a good
He's
story.
turning out these GameStop. You know what? That's a
Damn.
porn scene in GameStop.
Hey, I seen a couple
Mhm.
pornos that started like that,
I believe you.
and True was in the back.
I was like,
You find those on
Hey,
Twitter?
bro. Hey, bro.
I had
Yeah,
my
only
hand-
Yeah.
only on Twitter because
Only
they
on
ain't
Twitter.
because they're
Not
blocked from
anymore.
everywhere else.
Yeah.
Yo, that
No.
shit is so frustrating. Like literally, like as we're talking about the social media shit, like, because that's why, like, as a DJ, and all the DJs are going to Twitch, and that's like
So
some
Do you think
gaming
that's
shit.
cool? Do you think that's cool that the DJs
What?
go on Twitch? Or do
You
you
know
think
what?
it's lame?
I think it's dope because you know why? I think a lot of people are at home, at work, or whatever. I just feel like in the pandemic, like, because we like I said, we had an IG live show and whatever. But that's bullshit. Like, I'll go, like, the thing. No, but it's fucked up because,
Listen, just because you didn't have anybody tune in to your IG live,
I mean, it was just True every
Yeah.
day.
Send me the
It was
link.
just True sending me
Support,
eggplant
yeah.
emojis. Yeah, it was like
Just-
eggplant emojis.
Just
Yeah.
send me the link. I'll
No, but
drop
it's
it
like
in there.
you'll have certain people on Instagram Live, like say Instagram Live or Facebook, whatever, right? You got these people that are like, they're just DJing, whatever they're playing, whatever. They'll DJ for fucking 9, 12, 14, 18 hours, right? And then I'll like, a regular DJ is just going on there trying to fucking, just DJ, like literally, like, I mean, obviously Twitch is, you're getting paid.
but
and-
isn't Twitch monetizing now? Like,
yeah, no. So Twitch is good. Like Twitch, you're good. You could do whatever the fuck you want.
Mm.
But
we
like if
just-
you go
Can
on,
you play whatever you want?
yeah,
you're-
like
are they
music wise,
doing
no,
copy
music,
strikes?
music wise, all that. So there's a little issue where it's like if you stream on Twitch and like sometimes on Twitch you could, it's like a setting you could save your video or whatever. Sometimes the labels will go back and check that. But if
okay.
so there's certain nights where I do Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at the same time. I'll be on Facebook for 10 minutes and they fucking cut me off.
Right.
And it's like, yo, how it started was the Instagram Live, and it was like, yo, like you get on Instagram Live and you're like, okay, you get. So we figured it out where it's like, yo, you gotta play one verse of a song, or you know what I mean, like that the fucking computer algorithm, whatever it is that they have scan that shit, you're still doing it. On Twitch, you're good no matter what. But at that point, and then it's like, but then you got other DJs who are like on there for like 10 hours straight, like playing whatever the fuck
So
they want.
they're picking and choosing.
They're not only are they picking and choosing, but someone's getting paid somewhere.
Right.
Dude, we posted a live stream, so we had a guy, and I mean, he's really connected as far as in doing videos and stuff. And he just posted our last live stream, and dude, we got fucking strike.
Yeah, no,
Right.
it's ridiculous, and even for us, where I'm like, yo, we're like, we're radio DJs, like we're breaking these records, we're really putting this content out there, and like, yo, like, okay, so like, how do we, who's really regulating that shit? Because
Right.
like, yo, if you would think anyone could
Edward
be
Snowden.
if you would think anyone would be able to like stay on IG Live, it would be us, because like, yo, we're the radio guys, we're the ones breaking these records, we got the new records
And it's
first.
like, it has to hit a point where it's like, okay, Instagram, pay the royalties.
Yeah, exactly.
So we could fucking
Yeah,
just
like,
put
yo,
this fucking music
Exactly,
together.
and that's why like I think Twitch stepped up somehow. I don't know the politics behind it,
Right.
but somehow Twitch has that shit cleared where there's no, like, you could play 9 minutes of a song and you're not getting kicked off. But it's like we talked about, is like, as far as being a person on social media, you took 6 years to build up your Twitter following, and then you had to send all those people to Instagram,
and then you
and
lose
now
it.
and now you're
And-
asking your Instagram followers, like, fuck, please download one more app.
And now you understand what we're going through, because we got to take them from there. And
Yeah, but
go
you're
and
good. You're good.
pay.
Yeah, they follow you. You're
What
good.
if-
No,
fans of
no,
the
no, no,
future.
no.
You look better-
No,
you look better than
no,
me
no,
without
no,
clothes.
No, no,
Ryan-
no.
Ryan
Not that
Rappaport.
easy.
100%.
It is not that easy.
Hey, Ryan Rappaport needs to bring this shit to Clubhouse.
Yeah, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
We
That-
actually we
hey, put me
talked
on stage.
about,
Hey,
like,
Hey,
it
put me
would've
down the
been
hallway.
really cool to have like Clubhouse
Club-
going on right now.
social Clubhouse.
I don't know.
Like,
I
a
don't know
DJ
why
room.
that shit just makes
Well,
me.
I'll show you guys.
That shit
after.
makes. I know we got. I wanna like watch you like navigate Clubhouse.
because my Clubhouse is lit. I'm following
Yeah.
a lot of cool people.
But let
so
me
I got
DJ
a lot
nah.
of rooms.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's like, what if I could DJ one of your rooms?
What if you could?
Hey, you gotta pay you.
Yeah.
That's what the Cash App.
Well,
for.
look at this. Look at this.
Nah.
So we like start a room, and then we could be like run that for like a
The room
say,
could be
say
the
like
studio.
20 minutes, right? And they'd be like, okay, this is the free show. You guys want to hit that? We're gonna go into the real show.
But that's why is just. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. But it, like, for you two, like, it doesn't, like, not on that, like, on that private shit, like that girl shit. Doesn't it seem weird that it never gets to a point where there's video?
I mean, it does.
If
Right,
you-
right.
if
And like,
you-
yeah, see,
But
thank you.
it could if you utilize.
Oh, so you're saying-
OnlyFans Live.
Okay, you're saying so. See, that's.
OnlyFans Live.
But then you're talking about, here's another fucking app.
No,
like
so when-
that's
so-
what
yes,
frustrates me.
okay, that's the fucking
yeah, no,
problem.
exactly.
Right?
So you and I,
and you want to know what it is? It's not even just there's another app. It's there's an app, and you're gonna put your credit card in there.
Hey, so
Are
this-
you
but
okay with
at
that?
least look at least like if you take OnlyFans, motherfuckers are cool with, like, it's a fucking national app. Like,
Do you
it's
have
not
an
like
OnlyFans?
it's not like you're personally asking someone for the credit card number. Like, if they
No.
if they need to put it on OnlyFans, they're like hella safe with that, right? Because it's a fucking, like,
Hey, real. Hey,
not
real,
Yes
Right.
and no.
Hey, real
yes
quick.
and no.
Speaking of that, so OnlyFans,
Right.
I don't. The whole, and I don't know if it's because I'm a little bit older.
By the way, Tru has the OnlyFans. I
but
saw it.
you're drinking a White Claw.
That's first of all,
Listen.
just for the record, that's the
Bam.
only thing he had in his fridge.
Oh.
Which was my
You
15-year-old
supplied it.
beer.
You supplied it.
But
Hold on, don't no one record that.
Yeah,
she's
but-
not. She's 21.
21,
Oh, I mean,
he-
yeah, allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
right, Trump.
I don't follow like the whole thing of like subscribing to a girl. Like I get it, and I'm just like, I don't call me old school, but I'm like, I will not do it. The motherfucker who gives me stock advice, Marcus to Braids, I follow him on OnlyFans.
So you subscribe to
I-
his
so
OnlyFans?
No, but hey,
He's bringing
that's a
money.
really good
He's
fucking
bringing
point.
money.
No, you know what? That's a good point, because I see, like, fucking, it was like Fat Joe and Scott
Bringing
Storch
money.
or someone. They made an OnlyFans. You know, Tyga has an OnlyFans, and it's like not pornographic.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
he
we
has
can
like
talk
like
about
There's a lot of
literally
celebrities that are on it.
Tyga started a management company for girls on OnlyFans. Like there's literally like
Holy shit.
Cardi B, exactly. Like Cardi B, obviously she was a stripper. She's been through the
But
runs.
she put
but
a
she
she
her
put
shit
a post. She said she's not doing no nudes.
no, her shit on OnlyFans is there's no nudes. It's not what you look at
Boring.
OnlyFans as. Like because
You
you
have to
think of
understand-
the
It's the
name.
future.
Think of the
Only-
name. Think of the name. OnlyFans. So these are my fans. Like so you're getting
OnlyFans-
private content.
OnlyFans was not necessarily created for the sex industry.
But then
industry
COVID hit.
just came
Yeah,
through.
of course.
But you know,
Yeah,
you could
COVID
be a
hit.
fitness
COVID
person.
hit.
You could be a chef. You could be a makeup artist. I
But we
mean,
love them hoes.
but
we love them hoes.
the hoes are
Yeah.
really
They're
we do.
supplying.
They're
we
gonna
do.
win every
we
time.
do love them hoes though.
They're
I'm
gonna
trying.
win
I'm
every
trying to go down your
So-
hallway and see
Well,
your
go-
hoe friends.
Going back to what you were saying with people getting shadow banned and that content,
Right.
And that's what I'm playing with this funny idea. Like, there's so much shit that can happen on OnlyFans where the subscriptions are small.
Bro, it's
So
gonna
much
turn
shit.
in. OnlyFans
It's
is gonna turn into Backpage. Like
It's
gonna.
defended. Well,
they're
no,
gonna.
it might already-
No,
The
government-
not
no,
quite, because they're
no,
not allowing.
that's his
The
dream.
government
there's
is-
guidelines. You can't meet with
Yeah,
these people.
but still
and you
the
can't be like brokering deals.
But
like
you know how
this.
the way the government looks at it is like, look at these chicks are fucking. I mean, obviously, the girls on OnlyFans that are making
Be
you know,
careful.
You know what?
1,200
You
I know.
mother-
Careful,
You
I know.
Your fan
motherfuckers,
base.
you motherfuckers fantasize that it's like that. It ain't.
It
It's the
is.
Wild Wild West
No, it
right
is.
now.
No,
it is.
yeah.
No, it is the
No,
Wild
yeah.
Wild West. It is so hard, but it's like you got to do it. We have to do our own marketing. You guys understand? Us women, we're consumers too. We got to pay other bitches to promote us on their page. And it's only for
Oh.
like 24 hours.
Oh.
To have a post for 24 hours, have a
Oh.
You
post
should be
for
doing about your
3
DJ.
days. But like, we literally have to do all this shit on
Hey, forward
top
me-
of
forward me
making
like
our
10
whole
bitches.
shit.
Nah, for real
Get
though.
Telegram.
No, but I'm saying I guarantee you. I mean, hopefully, fucking, especially for myself, these lockdowns go away.
They're
We're back
gonna
to
go
normal.
away soon. I feel it.
What,
Shut
you
up.
think it's gonna
You
be
ain't going
cool
anywhere.
to go to the strip club?
Not only that, but what I'm saying is like,
Palomino.
Magic
Well,
City's hot.
but-
right now.
but-
Magic
but-
City is
yo,
Would
no,
you
hey,
go
no,
to-
real talk. Like,
Would you go
yo,
into a
I-
strip club right now?
Hell, dude, I've been in Texas. I've been in Texas. You could. I got Raul here. I got my tour manager here. I've
Yeah,
been in.
what- hey,
I've been
oh,
in
Raul,
Texas.
I see that face.
I've been in Texas and Miami.
During
90
COVID?
yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. No.
So
we-
you're a fucking spreader.
Spreader.
yeah,
Spreader.
yeah. No, I brought COVID for you and
Did you
you
get
and you.
Hey, real quick, no. Hey, I've been looking at this
You
the
take
whole.
your COVID test.
I've been looking at this the whole day. James is tour manager. What does that say on your hat? Zelda's nightclub.
Oh, shout out to Zelda's, bro.
Is that
That's like-
is that a
that's-
strip club or is that a nightclub?
No, that's man. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of the biggest nightclubs ever. That was a nightclub in Palm Springs, California, for about 40 years, 36,
Oh, yeah?
37 years, two locations. Yeah, and they got shut down on some bullshit. But anyways, that was like, I grew up in Palm Springs, so that was like my
Palm
fuck-
Springs, California.
Yeah.
So
Yo.
you're
Yeah.
a little IE
Ian-
person,
Oh
too.
yeah,
Ian
oh
McCall.
yeah. No,
Okay, you're
I was
cool.
in
You're
IE.
cool.
I was all
I
up
was
in
in
that.
Riverside.
I was
hung
on.
out.
No, I DJ'd
hung
on
out out
KG.
there.
I DJ'd on 99.1 for years.
Are you serious?
Ah, see?
Yes.
Oh my god, he's like I saw you at Hooters.
I used to
Yeah.
listen to them all the time.
Nah, KG.
I
that
used
was
to
my
go hang out in
shit.
Cathedral City
What
all
was
the time.
what was it? Mansion? Nah, what was the Gotham?
Yeah.
See, she lit. She big lit right now.
The Hudson.
See,
mhm.
yeah. No,
Oh
we had a
my
lot of shit. But
God.
yeah, that's what went down. So we
That's when those little raves were.
Hey, we were
over there.
we were traveling around when she was doing appearances, and I don't know what we were on. What was it? Tricks radio show, and
Oh,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
she's like, my name is Domo Monster. I'm from Riverside.
I'm from
California."
Riverside.
Riverside, motherfucker.
Riverside, motherfucker.
Yeah, nah, we
If you
yeah.
know, you know.
Yeah, we deep in that IE shit, all that.
Yeah, I had to learn about all that
oh,
shit.
man, yeah, you
We're
gotta learn
thugs
about a lot
out
of
there.
shit.
We go party in dirt backyards. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, that's real time. I remember working at a radio station and taking like 3-6 Mafia to a fucking, like, we're halfway to the house and we're like, we're really going deeper in this bitch, and they're like, they're in the back. We got fucking 3 SUVs, and they're like, dog, where are you taking us? Like,
Right.
like these
In
motherfuckers are from
Paris?
Memphis. Yeah. Like we're over there by Lake Paris and shit. And they're like, bro, like I was
They're
like,
like,
yo,
there's no pavement on the road.
I'm like Jay, I'm telling Juicy, I'm like, dog, it's called the backyard barbecue. Like we really in the backyard.
Yeah,
like
we're doing-
not only are we in the client's backyard, but we in the backyard of the city, bro. Like
Right.
yo, you brought your gun? Like yo,
Yeah.
Hey, well-
It gets crazy
it's
out
all
there.
real. It's all real. It's all
Well,
real.
listen, I don't know about y'all, but I need to go get on my hoe business and start studying
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah.
So I think
And,
it's
and let
Hey,
me know,
hey.
I'm coaching. I am gonna start coaching females and males if they
Where
want to
can
get started
people
on
find
OnlyFans.
you at, Domo?
They can find me at Domo Monster 7 on IG. But you could also follow my hoe page, Onyx Muse XO.
Ooh.
you better not be following that shit.
Hey, I just checked my phone and I was already following her.
What about you,
Oh,
Ryan? Where can they
shit.
find you at?
So they can find me at Digital Venture Partners, LinkedIn, Ryan Rapaport, and we have a virtual conference with Black Enterprise on February.
And can we just
21st.
get a little shot of these?
Hold on, he's
Yeah,
just
shout
dude.
out.
His name is just so fucking built for this
Ryan
shit.
Rapaport.
I'm
sounds
so
like a
jealous.
porn-
Like,
Right,
like
right.
I'm like, yo,
It
that's
could
gotta be
It
fake.
could be a porn
I
name.
I
Right?
swear to God,
Ryan
I swear to
Rapaport.
God, I checked his ID earlier and that's his real name. Yo, what the
Yo,
fuck?
Ryan about to Rapaport these hoes.
Hey,
Shout
there she is. There
Shout
she
out to
is.
Blazy Susan,
Yes,
Trey,
shout out
and
to
Will.
Blazy Susan.
They're good dudes. They're really good stuff, man. If you can, actually, I'm gonna get y'all some trays from them too. They do some badass
Super
Blazy Susan,
cute.
like the Lazy
I
Susan weed.
like
yeah.
this.
Give those websites. You got
Right.
you
Oh,
got
that,
some
yo,
plugs
that
for them.
pack is a sought after item, by the way. So
All right, I'm gonna put that in my pocket.
And what about this bag? There's a special thing
that
about
a
this
smell
bag.
proof?
Just because it's by you.
smell-proof and a
Smell
cooler. Smell proof and a cooler.
Ooh.
See, I need that shit.
Just because it's by you doesn't mean you can take it home.
Yep.
I am taking it
Nah,
home.
you ain't doing shit.
I'm reaching over there. I know.
And, did you say these
I
guys?
know someone that knows
The
someone.
Capsule Collective,
Yeah.
the microdosing.
At We Are Capsule Collective.
I'm
at
trying
Instagram.
one of those immediately. I need to be on point. What are these packs? What are these things right here?
Uh,
Are these
these are-
papers?
Yeah.
These
Little
are
cones, little cones.
cones.
Yes.
So you little bitch ass motherfuckers who don't know how to roll joints.
First
you
of
just
all-
pack it in there.
Yeah.
That ain't a
Pack it
real
in.
roller.
Or if you got the Futurola, like you dump in a bunch of shake and it makes all your
Right.
Hey, you
pre-rolls
just
for
wanna
you.
look, hey, you just want to look cool.
Yep. And then what's that? A sweatshirt and a hat over
Yeah,
there?
I got some more stuff
we
coming
have,
for
we
y'all.
have
We got
some
some more swag.
t-shirts, and then
That's
also
what everyone says.
these guys.
Shout out to Click,
Click.
Nootropic. My girl Monica really hooked that up. So
Yeah, that's.
yeah.
And
that's-
shout out to you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Hey.
All the way from Hawaii.
Listen, man.
Right,
When
thank
I fucking
you.
come knock on that door, you better
Hey,
let me in.
no,
there.
Oh,
hey,
we're
hey,
coming
you know-
to Oahu.
No, wait, yeah, like this weekend.
Yeah, Joe,
Yeah.
we're open. All
Yeah.
you need is a
COVID test. I just got
72
mine
hours.
today.
Just get
I got
your
photo. I
COVID
got
test.
I got Photoshop, so I'll Photoshop all our COVID
Bro, they're
tests.
on
and
top
we
of
can-
that. Yo, they're tracking.
know,
your
I know.
phone,
Hey,
dude. They're
no,
like
I-
calling the pharmacy. Where'd you get that test?
Literally, when
yeah.
when they first put that ordinance, like the first like back in March, April, I seen motherfuckers like getting caught up on social media, like fined like
They were-
thousands of dollars. Like they were finding people on social media, like hashtagging like Hawaii places, and like, oh, you didn't quarantine for 7 days? Here's fucking $10,000 fine. No, the government, they were going ham.
Hey, and I thought Hawaiians were stupid from what my Hawaiian friend said.
Nah.
No,
Yeah, I'm
they-
gonna tell all my
can be
Samoan
deceived.
homies that you said that.
Yep. I love
But
Samoan.
shout out
Yeah.
to you guys,
It's
Super James
Super
and
James. Where
G
can they
Minor.
find
Where
you
can they
at?
find you
I
guys?
I don't, dude. I don't even know where Truth found me.
He's.
It was like literally,
back page.
yeah.
right?
It was like, yeah, back page. It was like
Slash
2006 back page. No, for real though. Shout out to G Minor for coming through and hanging with us. We stream on Twitch heavy. We got a bunch of radio stations, but just DJSuperJames.com. Everything at DJ Super James. We're gonna be in here. We're gonna be doing a lot of big things and bringing a lot of big artists. through.
Hey,
Yeah.
shout out to the producer Hugh.
Yeah, producer Hugh
Versus
on.
Vegas.
versus Vegas.
Look at
He's
us.
got a podcast too, so check him out.
Hugh, my dog.
And
Look
then
at him. Look at him. Look at him.
The master of lighting, Sean Jensen.
Right.
There he is. Look at he's so mad. He's like, hey, could you guys shut the fuck up and go home?
He's been on Backpage before.
He's got a little star by his name on Backpage.
Yo, and just to say too, I'm super thankful for y'all having me here. This is like a kickoff of like a few other podcasts or
Radio
shows that I'll be
Radio
doing.
shows.
Yeah, we didn't want to have you, but we had no one else. So.
I know. I feel a good gaps. Hey, I'm a big guy. I feel a good gaps.
Hey, you're not in the clubhouse, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, just kidding,
That
just
door's
kidding.
not gonna unlock,
Hey. No, he's gonna give me a key to his hallway
Yeah.
and his green pill and
The green
bean.
green bean.
motherfucker.
Green bean.
Right.
I was close, kind of.
All right, y'all. Peace out. Thank you.
Peace out. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.